Why would I throw in the towel? I just got in my bag. I don't make no mistakes. I'm coming for mine, and there ain't no one taking my place. Listen, I've taken some L's. Yeah, that means I lived and I learned. Now I got some money to burn. Why would I throw in the towel? I just got in my bag. I don't make no mistakes. I'm coming for mine, and there ain't no one taking my place. Listen, I've taken some L's. That means I lived and I learned. Now I got some money to burn. Why would I throw in the towel? I just got in my bag. Slow the stars, what they calling out? I don't know what they talking about.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's good, man? Welcome back to another edition of Giants Conversations, where we talking all things Giants, man. You know what it is, man. It's your boy NYG Double Deuce in the building with my guy, my bro, Mr. Coach Ed Gladney, man. Let's give it up, man. Let's give it up for Coach, man. How you doing today, Coach, man? What's good with you? What's good, man?
Yo. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? I am magnificent. Happy holidays to those of you who celebrate. Hope you're having a good time with your families and all. So I'm just chilling, sitting here watching some football. Going to talk Giants conversation. What more can you say?
Man,
It's a
right.
beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Exactly, man. Salute to the chat, man. What's good, man? I see you, Neymar. What's up? Yo, Mizaroni, what's up, bro? Hit the link, man, if you want to chop it up with us, man. It's open panel today.
That man keep going and going in the chat. He go, man, for days.
Yo, man, that's that passion. That's that NYG, that New York Giants passion, bro. You know what it is, man. Of course, man. My bro, Ghost Dog, Ghost Diggy. What it do, bro? You know what it is, man. Let's get it, man. Let's talk, man. Let's talk some Giants, man. But before I talk about the Giants, I do want to say shout out to the New York Yankees, man. Come on now. Shout out to the New York Yankees.
I have to admit, that surprised me. That surprised me.
Sweeping the Astros like they did, man, in the fashion that they did, man. 3 come from behind victories, man. You know what I'm saying? Always got to give a shout out to the New York Yankees, man.
I know they play today at 2:00. It's a 4-game series.
It's a 4-game series.
Yeah, I'm looking at
game
ESPN.
Today?
I'm looking at ESPN. It says it's on at 2:00 today.
Okay, well, let's get the 4-game sweep then. All right, let's get the 4-gamer. All right, I thought it was a 3-gamer, but
I know Coach Dante is not happy.
Oh yeah, he tight right now, man. Shout out to Coach Dante, man, our resident Houston Fanato.
Yep, it's a 2:00 game. I got it on yes.
Okay. All right, man. What's good? Get to a couple questions. And Neymar says, "Do the Giants draft JJ McCarthy or Drake May?" I don't know. I hope they don't draft either. That's my personal opinion. I'm on the Michael Penix train right now. Pause. but
I've been said that. I said that a long time ago. I said, Michael Penix in this draft is my number one. The only one who would have supplanted him is Shedeur Sanders. But Michael, bro.
Yeah.
And I know there's a debate of taking him at 6. Some people say, oh, the value is not there.
That I'm on the fringe of. I don't know if I really want to take him at 6, but the way it's looking right now, we might have to.
Well, my question, my thing is this. Before Michael Penix came into the equation, everyone is saying, if you want your quarterback, do whatever you got to do to go get him. It doesn't matter. If you got to sell it for him to go get him, go get him. Now, if Michael Penix is sitting there, you do what you got to do to get him if that's your man.
Yeah,
if he's at 6, because let's be realistic. If he goes past us, we're not getting him later. Forget the thought that
you don't think we could get him in a trade down with Minnesota.
Well, that's different. If you say trade down with Minnesota, the only thing you got to worry about is Oakland then trading up over you.
That's the yeah. Damn it.
So now, if you trade back, the thing is, if you trade back and you got Penix and Bo Nix there, then you might be able to get Nix later in the draft if you want a quarterback. But that's the thing. I mean, if you really want him, Cut all the bullshit. Everybody talked about trading pieces to move up for all these other quarterbacks. Well, if you have the quarterback that you want at 6, you're not trading anything.
That's true.
You just take him, man. You just take him. If that's who you believe in, you can get receivers later. I mean, they may not be elite as the ones who are there, but they're still. I mean, like a Leggett. Come on now, everybody talks about him. I mean, you know,
get me Michael Penix and Leggett, man. Let's cook. I'm with that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's if he's there at 6, you know. Now, if it's McCarthy that you want, and you know he's sitting there because all indications, unless someone trades up with Arizona, he's going to be there at 6. If that's who you want, then take him. You know, I'm not of the McCarthy mindset or the Drake May mindset, but
either.
If that's who they believe in and they believe that they can coach them up to be good quarterbacks, then do what you got to do to get your quarterback. You know, and if it's at 6, and if it's Michael Penix, if it's JJ McCarthy, if Drake May slips, if that's who you want, get your quarterback, man. Now,
I'm with the quarterback thing, Coach, but the only thing is I don't want them to trade up.
No, I don't either.
I don't want them trading up to get a quarterback. And all this talk right now in Giants land is that, you know, if they want JJ McCarthy, they're gonna have to trade up over Minnesota to New England or Arizona.
And you have a fallback option. You don't have to trade. You have a fallback. If do you like McCarthy? Do you like Penix? If they're close, if you say that all these quarterbacks are close, then you don't need to trade.
Yeah,
you don't need to trade. Let McCarthy go. Get Penix. You know, or if it's Bo Nix, I think it's still too high. But you know what? You know, now like if you could trade back with Minnesota, get 2 first-round draft picks. Hell, if it's Denver, you trade up with Denver and get a future first-round draft pick. You know, then you still you could do things. The point being is, for me, the number one thing I would want to do is I would want to trade back. I understand it's about Michael Penix. Now, if he's sitting there, I'm probably going to be more apt to just take him. I'm probably not going to trade. But if we're early and I'm getting calls about trading back and I'm getting picks, then I'm making a trade because we have too many holes to fix.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Coach. So, and I've been a big component of like taking a college wide receiver. I mean, taking a college quarterback and pairing them with the college wide receiver. Obviously, if you take Penix at 6, you're not getting Rome Odunze. So, what is your thoughts on his 2 other receivers? That being Jalen Polk and McMillan.
Polk, you can probably get. I think you can probably get him in the 2nd round.
Okay.
McMillan is maybe a 4th round pick. I mean, I'd have to do a little bit more research on him, but you know, I mean,
I haven't done a lot of review on him either.
But you know, I mean, I know he's a good receiver, but the thing is he a number 1? No, he's a complimentary. Both of those guys are complimentary.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting a number 1 though, Coach. Look, there's 3 surefire number 1s in this draft for sure.
I think
4. Okay, well, if you want to throw Thomas in there, I agree with you.
It's honestly Leggett. I think Leggett is right now. He's not. You have to develop him, but
that's what I'm saying. But yes, a lot of receivers that can be developed into number 1s. I agree with you, but I'm saying off the jump for sure, surefire bets for you know, as close as you can get to surefire bets. Anything, you know, because nothing's a surefire bet, but. I think it's Marvin Harrison Jr., Neighbors, and Odunze, you know, and I would even throw Brian Thomas, and I think Brian Thomas can come in and be a number 1 receiver.
Fair, that's fair.
But that's it for me. That's it, man. Everybody else has to be developed, or they're either slot guys or you know,
they're complimentary.
Role players. You know what I mean? So, but if you take Penix. Then you're basically saying you're going into the season with Slayton, Hyatt, Wandell, and then whoever you draft, if you draft another receiver. So you're kind of going with receiver by committee, so to speak. You're not really going to be having a number 1 unless one of those guys develop into a number 1. You know what I mean? What's your thought?
So I mean, what you're saying is true. There was I forgot who posted it. I think I retweeted it. I have to go back and look. But I think was it Art Stapleton? I forgot who it was who proposed a trade for the Giants. Now it's out there. I'm going to say it's out there, and I'm not saying that they are going to do this, but it's for T Higgins. You get a second round. I think you get to give up your second and a future first and a future seventh. I believe that's what the offer was, and you get T Higgins. Oh, and Slayton. You put Slayton in the trade. Now the question is about the money. I get it, and that's the biggest thing, because he's going to need to out. But you're talking about Joe Shane, who does some things masterfully with contracts where
that's true.
You don't have to front load it, and he's young. He'll be your number one. You could still draft another guy like Xavier Leggett, who you can eventually develop, and then when Higgins moves on, he'll just slide in. You still have Hyatt, and you still have Wan'Dale Robinson. Now that's something that I thought about, and you still have your number 6 pick where you can still go get your quarterback.
That's true. Here's a couple things here. First thing is with Joe Shane, I think he's a one home run season type guy. Like, and what I mean by that is he's gonna take one big swing, one big contract, one big maneuver, and then he's gonna kind of fill out the roster around what he's done. And I think he made that move with Brian Burns. I don't see him really taking that big of a swing for a guy like T. Higgins and then having to pay him a huge contract on top of that when you just paid Brian Burns and of course, the elephant in the room, Daniel Jones, the contract that you gave him. So I don't know if that is a maneuver. The second part about this is we've tried to trade, sign kind of route with some of these receivers. We going back to Galladay, Brandon Marshall, Golden Tates of the worlds, Darren Waller. I want them to start to develop their weapons on the roster. And so basically what I'm saying is instead of trading for a receiver, just go get one in the draft. Just go get one in the draft and develop that player. So then once these guys start to come in and you start to develop, and say Hyatt steps up and is the number one receiver. Say we draft Leggett, first year, and Hyatt just goes off for whatever reason and establishes himself as that guy. Okay, well now you don't have to pay Hyatt for a while, so you're gonna have a basic number one receiver on your roster on a rookie contract. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you're paying the quarterback, on offense, and the only other player you think you're paying on offense is what, Darren Waller, like big money outside the offensive line, as far as the skill position players are. Why give another contract out to a wide receiver like that? That to me, you're basically saying, okay, T. Higgins, you're the number one guy regardless. You know what I mean? And then when you drafting a quarterback, I kind of want the quarterback and the receiver to kind of grow up together in the NFL, if so to speak, because when you bring in veteran receivers and they kind of have their ways about them, they want to, they want it a certain way, so to speak. So I think when you're developing a quarterback, it's good to bring him in, even if it's not somebody from a teammate of his in college. Say you bring in Penix and Leggett, let them grow up together. Don't have T. Higgins on there where you have to basically, tell the quarterback, look, we're paying this guy a lot of money, get him the football. You know what I mean? So in this situation, you have a bunch of guys that are kind of even now, and that quarterback can develop his chemistry with whoever's cooking. You know what I mean? And they kind of grow up together in that way. You know what I'm saying? Because, people hate Darius Slayton, but Darius Slayton's not a guy that's going to ruffle feathers. He's not an alpha receiver. You know what I mean? So you bringing in T. Higgins, he's going to be the guy. You know what I mean? He's going to have to be the guy because you're going to be paying him a bunch of money. So that's the only thing that I disagree with. Let's get to a couple of comments here.
Well, let me just say this. I feel you. No, I feel you on everything that you're saying. I mean, in practical sense, yeah, you're right. Get a group of receivers and a quarterback that grow together, over an established receiver, and you know, um, he's going to want that command that money. We're already dealing with that in a sense with Daniel Jones. So leave yourself the flexibility. Like you said, Hyatt. He may take over, but then again, don't forget this is only going into year two. What's up, School?
Scoob, hey, what's
He's
up,
only on a
sis? Hope you
4-year
feeling
contract.
better. Hope you feeling good.
Exactly. He's only on a 4-year contract. He's not on the 5-year. So
Yeah, I know.
the time slide is a little bit different. So Higgins also. Look, like I said, Shane has done masterfully in terms of how he constructs these contracts. So that first year, you may not have to see it, but now if he extends it, and who's to say he doesn't throw in a void year? Because he has that option to really straighten the money out a little bit. So, and T. Higgins, yeah, he's going to want the ball in a sense, but he's also going to be that dog that you're going to get him that ball and force defenses to respect him, and it also opens up for other guys. Remember, he's played with two other, in a sense, number 1 or 1A receivers, so he's used to it in a sense, but he just wants to be the front dog. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind sharing and being a part of a team. So he's not going to take away from the team because he's already been a part of that. But in the same token, he's that dog where defenses have to adjust for him, and that opens the door for Wandale. That opens the door for a Hyatt, and whoever else you draft. If you drafted, like I said, a Leggett, and train Leggett to eventually be that number one when you get off of T. Higgins contracts. And Shane has also done things where at least the guaranteed money is done early. So on the back end, you can cut him later on and really not have to, feel the pain of his contract. So I get what you're saying, and you're right, but there's nothing wrong to me in going that way, especially when we've been complaining about we don't have a number one. We don't have a number one.
Yeah.
That's a number one. There's no denying it. And everybody in the division will have to respect that. And that allows Dable to run the offense that he wants. And if you get a Michael Penix to sit for a year behind Drew Luck and behind Daniel Jones and whoever else, you could put Daniel Jones in bubble wrap so he doesn't get hurt. What's up, Tudo? Got to talk.
Tudo.
I got to ask you a question about
What's
rugby.
good, man? Salute, man. Salute, man. To Tudo, man. What's good with you, bro?
So I if you can, I'm telling you that is worth giving up a second round this year and a future first and a seventh round to me and Slayton.
I'm not doing it. I
respect it. I respect it. I don't have a problem with anybody that doesn't want to do it. So I get where everyone's coming from. I'm just saying, to me, I wouldn't close the door on it. It's something that I would consider. If you get a quarterback like a Michael Penix, because that also helps him down the road to see he knows he has that number one. And if you get a Leggett, to develop, and you have Hyatt and Wandale Robinson, don't forget we have what's his name, who was on
and why do we have to give away Slayton? Like I get
money. You at least you want to try and get the money as down as much as I think he's at $7 million. So if you got to pay him 20, then you're looking at a $13 million difference when you think about it.
That's true. I agree with the money.
That's the thing. So it's like when you look at it, it's like, well, and I get it because I said the same thing. Damn, why can't we keep Slayton? But then I was like, well, that's money. That's instead of paying him a full 20 and then Slayton 7, that's 13 that you're paying. So
and one thing that I'm noticing about Giants fans, and shout out to E, the chosen one. Appreciate you coming through and say, here we go. But one thing that I kind of get a little annoyed, about, or as a little pet peeve of mine. It's like, why do we Giants fans just want every other player but the players that's on their team? And this is kind of gonna be the conversation of the day. When we're talking about some of these holes and some of these positions that we're looking at filling, we're forgetting that we've been drafting players that haven't really seen the field or are still in their developmental stage, and we don't know if those players can step up. Look, you're not gonna have a whole team full of first rounders, pro bowlers at every single position. We have to start developing these players to at least get to a baseline average level, to where, as we start to build the talent around our core players. Remember, you got core players on special teams, you got core players on defense, you got core players on offense, man, that are not yet superstars or that are still in their developmental stage because they're so young. The Giants are the second youngest team in the NFL behind the Packers. So you have to let some of these players start to develop, and that's what I want to talk about here today. 5 current players on this roster that I want to see improve, that can take the next step in 2024. And that's going to be kind of the topic of the day, because look, the draft is coming up soon. We already know, talk about the draft, players we want to take, and mock drafts all out the wahoo. You know what I mean? But let's talk about the roster. Let's talk about the current New York Giants roster, and let's see if some of these players can take the next step in 2024. E says, we want to get rid of players we feel don't help us win, but then that means you get rid of everybody each year. Exactly. You can't keep just replacing players that you've drafted. You got to allow them to develop at some point.
There's a certain, yes, you're right in practical sense, but if you're upgrading over said player, because right now what you're saying,
how do you know it's an upgrade though?
Okay, T. Higgins over Slayton. Over Darius Slayton.
I'm not saying that, Coach. I'm saying I'm talking about some of these other players, and I'm particularly talking about players that we're talking about drafting when we have players on this roster, and that's what I'm talking about.
That's fair.
So let's get into it so we get some more clarity on the topic. Yeah, y'all hit that like button, please. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to 40 Luck. Hope you like and subscribe to the video, brother, man. We do this, man. We chop it up all the time about the New York Giants, man. On Sundays on Giants Conversation, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate you, man.
Destroy this. That guy Destroying or whatever who does the YouTube videos. Okay, no,
I don't know.
Yeah, he's somewhere. No, I just realized he's on the San Antonio team because they were just interviewing.
Oh,
so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, you good. You good. But yeah, like to see Beavers is another one. I didn't include him in this topic, but that is a good point. Shout out to 40 Luck and Miz in the chat. That's a good point about Beavers is another one that we look into, man. But let's get into it, man. The first player I want to talk about is Mr. Trey Hawkins. Trey Hawkins, look, we need CB2, right? And a lot of players, a lot of people talking about, even drafting a cornerback in the first round. I've heard some conversations around that, but we need a cornerback too. I feel kind of confident with Cordell Flott in the slot, so to speak, but we need that outside corner. Now, Trey Hawkins was a player that was raved about and talked about with a lot of Giants fans. You know what I'm saying? He has the size, weight, speed, 6'3", 195 pounds. Forgot what his 40 time was, but he's a pretty athletic, pretty quick guy. And with the receivers and the way the NFL is running, moving into, you want those bigger, faster corners, man, to cover some of these players. Still just 23 years old. So Trey Hawkins, I think, is a guy that, if developed under Jerome Henderson, remember he was a 6th round pick. 5th round pick.
Hawkins was I think he was a 6th round pick.
6th round.
Yeah, let me look it up.
I think so. Yeah, 6th round. 209th overall.
Okay.
So 6th round pick. So again, are we expecting a 6th round pick to come in his rookie season and be that guy? Yeah, we probably thought he could have initially, because he showed promise in training camp, but it didn't work out like it should have in the regular season, man. And eventually he was benched, and so on and so forth. But Trey Hawkins is a guy that I think could possibly develop into a decent number 2 cornerback. I think if you give him a shot, I think if you continue to develop him under Jerome Henderson. Now, can you upgrade? Of course, you can always upgrade your roster. But I'm saying, do we need to go out and sign a big name cornerback? Do we need to go out and draft another corner over Trey Hawkins? Or can we actually develop him and possibly, if at best be solid depth on the team? Because you got to think, if Banks gets hurt, who are you bringing in? You know what I mean? Even if you go get out another cornerback, who are you bringing in? So Trey Hawkins is somebody that I think could possibly be a player to look at, man, moving forward here in 2024. That if he improves, hey, look, man, we cooking. We got Banks, we got Trey Hawkins. This is what we wanted last season. The kid didn't take the step that to be a starting cornerback. It's just like you guys tell me about Evan Neal, and you tell me about some of these other players, man. Why can't we be patient with some of these back end of the roster guys, man, that have taken in the 6th, 5th, 4th rounds, and see them develop and at least be marginal to solid to average players, starting caliber players in the NFL. I want to get your thoughts, Coach, man, and then we'll get to some comments in the chat.
As far as Hawkins, I mean, you can develop him. I mean, the question is, does he fit this system? Because he was originally drafted for Wink system,
That's
but
fair.
I mean, DBs should be able to adapt to most systems. All right, they shouldn't be once they get to the NFL, they just shouldn't be stuck in one aspect of this is all they do. They still need to be able to play zone at times, play man, play press, play off, and things of those nature. So yes, can he be developed? I believe he can. You know, and more than anything, like you said, he can be developed into a depth piece. Yes, but also very valuable. You spoke about it earlier. Special teams. He can definitely be a key contributor on special teams, and then come in if we need someone to, fill in on a key spots on the defense. So, yes, he can be developed. The question is, how fast is it going to take to develop him to be at least a serviceable number 2, if not a number 3 depth piece, not a slot, but then a third cornerback to come and play on the outside if necessary. So, only time will tell with him. So,
yeah, absolutely, Coach. Shout out to Tudo. He says NYG22 with much love and respect, boss. I disagree with drafting rookies and developing them. In order to develop a player to elite level, you have to develop coaches, and the Giants haven't had any since Coughlin left. So, a good point, Tudo. Good point on the coaching. And the reason I'm bringing up Trey Hawkins is because we have that coach that can develop our cornerbacks pretty decently and pretty well, actually, one of the best in the business, and that's Jerome Henderson. Jerome Henderson is excellent at developing DBs. We've seen it. Look at the contract McKinney just got. James Bradbury got a contract after he left, one of his best seasons. Adoree Jackson has played some of his best football under Jerome Henderson. Look at the year Deontay Banks had. We gotten solid play out of guys like Nick McLeod, Darnay Holmes. But, so he's good at developing DBs, man. But yeah, it does start with coaching too, though. It starts with coaching, and if we got the guys in the building that we think we got, Miz says it, with Dable, if Dable is here and he's the coach here, man, I want to see some of these players start to develop because look, drafting it ain't just a 3-round draft, guys. The 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th rounds matter, and it's not just for depth. Sometimes you can develop starters in those rounds. We see it all the time. We see it at all different positions in the NFL. So let's not act like these 3rd or 4th, these 4th, 5th, and 6th round picks are just garbage, that they're just throwaways. And, we need somebody with a pedigree or somebody that's a 1st round pick, or an all pro or something to start at every single position on this football squad. 40 Lux says, I didn't even know he was that fast. He ran a 4.39 exactly. Shout out to you, man, for putting that in the chat. I was trying to find his 40 time. 4.39. So yeah, the guy can play, man. Like, he's fast. He has the tools to play the position that you want in the modern day NFL. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's just mental with guys. Sometimes guys, it takes a little bit longer for them to get the nuances of the game, the X's and O's, the speed. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just mental. But physically, Trey Hawkins has the tool to be a starting cornerback in the NFL. He does. It's not like he's Darnay Holmes on the outside, So
leave Darnay Holmes in the slot, playing zone. That's coming up to make a tackle and helping in the run game. That's and handling some simple area type of coverage. I don't need him playing man, please. No. Leave him at zone. He's good at zone, passing off, coming off, filling, and making. At least he can make a tackle. That I'm happy with. So, So yeah. I mean, look, Hawkins. Let's develop him. Let's see what we got, and see what we got. And to the coach. And I'll wait till you get to it.
Oh yeah. But yeah. So now another thing. With the cornerback room with Trey Hawkins, and it's another player that I'm about to talk about. It says I'm glad they gave him some burn this season. Yeah, at least he got some run. Exactly. At least he got some experience, man. And sometimes that'll carry you into the next season, and allow you to play a little bit faster. Miz says no matter what we try to discuss, it's going to come back to the quarterback. Of course.
I'm not talking about the quarterback. I already talked about the quarterback. That's
the quarterback.
That's you, Miz. You wanna pipe the Drake the May flag. You carry it, bro. That's you. That's who you want.
Yeah,
I ain't talking about it no more. I said what I said. Michael Penix. All right, let's go.
Yeah, we'll see which direction the Giants go, even if they even take a quarterback is at all, and God forbid if they don't. Lord have mercy. But E, the chosen one, says he needs a lot of work, and that means we have to be patient with his development. Are we willing to do that? He was horrible in his processing ability and coverage. And again, are we willing to wait? Yes, we are willing to wait, E. And I'm going to say why. Because if you want to wait on the quarterback to develop, you can wait on the cornerback to develop. You can wait on the wide receiver to develop. You can wait on the offensive lineman to develop. You can wait on the defensive lineman to develop. So Miz says it's all about the quarterback, but the quarterback only plays one position. And so if you're willing to be patient with your quarterback and his development, then yes, I am willing to be patient with Trey Hawkins, Evan Neal, and some of these other players that we're going to talk about today. You know what I mean? So that's what this conversation is all about. Y'all hit that like button, man. Ain't nobody bringing this fire conversation like we doing over here. Unpopular Opinion Sports with my man, Coach Ed Gladney from Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports. Let's get it, man. Here go the comment. Tudo says, Coach Ed, Giants' main issues got rookie GM, rookie head coach, and a bunch of wannabes and BS coordinators, bad signings, and bad drafts all together, and it starts from the top. I've been there and done that.
Bro, I've been there and done it too, probably longer than you. But let's be real. That's just the business of sports. I mean, I get it, when you put things collectively and year after year, but eventually you have to stop somewhere. And right now, the hope is that Shane and Dable are it. And as far as the coordinators, I mean, I get it, but on the same token, every coordinator, every coach, every GM, everyone has to get a start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I get it. Giants fans are tired of it. They want, but what are you supposed to do? Just flick the switch and things come. Boom! You get the best coach, and you get the best GM and the best coordinators, and no, it's not going to happen like that. Sometimes you got to be down in the bottom. You got to scratch your way out. Man, you got to fight. Man, I mean, I've seen this before with the Giants in the '70s and the early '80s, man, and eventually it comes around. And I have to have that belief. I have to have that faith, because if not, then why be a fan? Period. So and I don't want to think like that. I don't think like that. I think positively in terms of the long perspective. As far as players have to develop. And we say, well, how long is it going to take? If it's only been a year, how fast do you expect players and coaches and GMs to get acclimated to doing the job? And it takes time. It really does. Any position, no matter what, playing a position takes time. You go from college to the NFL. It takes time adapting and adjusting. For a head coach to go from a coordinator to being a head coach, and how do you run it? How do you want it run? You see other head coaches, but when it comes to you, and it's put in your lap, it's a whole different ball game. And yes, you can take points from other people from what they've done, but when you do it, you got to develop your own flavor for being a coach. Same thing with Shane. He can GM under a great GM, but you're a rookie, you're young, you got to develop yourself. And that's just the reality. So, me, I don't mind being patient. I don't. Hell, I'm a Knicks fan. What that tells you everything you need to know, man.
Well, shit, for real.
So come on, bro. I mean, I get it though. I do get fans' points of view and the frustration, and I'm not trying to.
It is frustrating.
Yes, it is.
And the one thing too about it is that Giants fans got to understand. We're not in the position of like Jets fans, Browns fans, shit, even Cowboys and 49ers fans that haven't won in forever. So I mean, we've had our last championship, in 2011, and now that might seem like ages to Giants fans, but when you look at some of the teams around the league that haven't won an actual championship, and it is about the championships in the NFL. It is. It is. I don't want to hear, hey, we just want to be relevant or we just want to be good or exciting. No, it's about winning. That's what it's about, man. But let me get to some comments in the chat. Chat is filling up. Appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to E-Man Perry. Shout out to Bookend Tackles, man. Shout out to Man Cave. What's good with you, man? Shout out to Butterfly. Get those likes up. Exactly. Yeah. Most definitely, man. Appreciate y'all in the chat right now. Shout out to Raphael. Raphael.
Great interview. I appreciate the interview, Raph. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Raphael, man. I'm gonna get with you, Raph, man. Once I get some time, man. I know you've been trying to get in contact with me about coming on your show. But we're gonna make that happen, bro. Don't worry about it, man. Says, all right. Neymar, what's good? Happy Easter, man. Happy Easter to you too, man. If that's your thing. Hope y'all safe out there, man, and celebrate with your family and loved ones. Yeah, we talking about Trey Hawkins, man. We was talking about Trey Hawkins, but yeah, we don't get people going to jump off. It's going to be ugly. The Giants don't draft a quarterback. It's not going to be a good day for a lot of Giants fans. Yeah. Iman says you can wait on a coach to develop. Cough, Brian Dable. Yeah, Brian Dable does need to be developed.
Yes, he does. But
And that's funny about it, like a grown ass man, like like an older man like that, man. But he does need to be developed, man, because his coaching has been very inconsistent the
But
past
see,
two
the
seasons.
thing about you want to know, it's the one thing though about Dable, and it said it. And remember that rating came out and showed how from the Players Association think about the Giants. They're the eighth. They're the 18 that
Yeah.
they really like, and a lot of it is they said Brian Dable is a players coach. Now, as far
But
as
that's the thing, coach. He gets along with the players, but not the
Mhm.
coaches. So
No,
that's
I get it, and that's my point. He has to learn how to, and what it is when you're a head coach for the first time, you're trying to set the culture. You're trying to make sure everybody does what you want in the end. That's the
Mhm.
truth. And yes, you're going to be hard on the coaches because they in turn got to get the players to now some of his methodology and the way he talks to them. And so I've been there. I've had a head coach like that.
Yeah.
And it's how do you respond to that? I'm gonna be honest. No shade at Wink. I mean, I don't know exactly everything he's been through, and the man has been in the NFL for years, and he may say, "Look, I deserve a different level of respect." And there's some coaches. I mean, case in point, what's his name in Denver? You see how he acts. You
Oh,
see, and
Sean
you see,
Payton. Yeah,
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 and you see how hard he is. And I
yeah,
remember him when he was young, dumb, and under Bill Parcells. I
yeah,
remember
yeah,
him.
yeah. Yep, yep,
So
yep.
and the progression, and this man. So look, I get it. He does need to develop a way of talking to your coach and your underlings. Period. When you're the CEO, nobody wants to be belittled because then they're
Hmm.
gonna want to get up out of there, and then you're what you're stuck in with a rock and a hard place. So yes,
Hmm.
Dable, but it does not take away from his coaching acumen and his understanding the game. And
Yeah.
in the end, let's be real. We could talk about the coaches under him and everything else. It's about those damn players.
Hmm.
It is. And they got to be the ones to go out there, put their bodies on the line, and produce. That's why they get paid more money most times than the coaches.
Yep.
So in the same token, yes, Dable has to temper it down some, but I don't want him to lose who he is. If he's a coach who gets on, because I'm the type of player and coach, if I'm under somebody, I don't mind somebody getting on me. Because number one, that believes they believe in me.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you chewing me out because you're saying, look, you are better than this. I know you are better than this. You get your head out your butt and get your stuff together. I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue if the man's cursing me out in front of the whole damn team. I'm big enough to take it. All right. Now, if you push it beyond that, there's a certain level, yes. But you know what? If as long as you're talking about my coaching or whatever, and you don't really make it too personal, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. You're trying to get me and motivate me. If you go the other side, I'm a grown ass man just like you. We can go into a closet and we can handle this like grown men. And I'll walk out the door with my final paycheck. I don't give two shits.
Hmm.
But in the same token, yes, I'm going to respect you. You're the head coach. This is what you want. I may see things differently. If you
Yeah.
ask me my opinion, I'll give it to you. But if you don't, all right, it's your head that gets shot first. As long as I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna be honest with you. As a coach, ownership sees what I'm doing, so they know. And like you talk about Jerome Henderson, he's been here through different
Hmm.
coaches. Why? Because he's a hell of a coach, and ownership wants him here. So I don't worry about
Hmm.
it. If I believe in myself, okay. Whether I'm a position coach, a coordinator, or the head coach, and whoever's over me, all right, that's your ass, not mine. And
Yeah.
the Knicks gonna
Facts.
let y'all down in the playoffs now.
Yep. We'll
I'll
see.
say this right now: the way this team is performing, and if they're in the thirds, if they stay in the third or fourth spots,
Hmm.
okay, we'll see. And what's a letdown? Getting to the second round, losing in the seventh game with the last second shot.
Hmm.
Okay, if that's a letdown to you, my team's in there competing and fighting. And I'm getting most of my guys back from injury now. They haven't had a full season to really play together. They got to get together in a short period of time. So
Yeah.
that's what I look at. I look at more than just, oh, did they win that series per se. Now in the first round, that's a different story. They definitely have to get out of the first round. But this ain't about the Knicks. Let's move on to keeping on Giants.
All right, man. We're gonna get to the next player of topic here, and where's my screen at? And that's gonna be Mr. Dane Belton. So I kind of led into it with the last convo with Trey Hawkins. Dane Belton is another young player that the Giants can develop, man. And he's gonna get probably the best shot here with McKinney, Xavier McKinney's departure. He's gonna get the best shot probably out of some of the players we're gonna talk about to actually step up, man, and show something in this league, man. But he was a fourth round draft pick, of course, in 2022, man. 6'1", 190, 23 years old, out of Iowa. He's been a ball hawk type safety, 4 career interceptions, had 2 last year, played 17 games. So Dane Belton to me is a player that I think he can come in and maybe he's not going to be to McKinney's status, but I think he can be a solid safety back there, man. Roam in the middle, as they say, as far as a ball hawk, one of those safeties, especially if we're gonna be playing and E put it in the chat, and he makes a good point about the scheme here. We're playing this new scheme. It's predicated on the front 7 getting pressure. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be allowed to mix coverages based on your front 4. If you're able to rush with 4 and get pressure with 4, now your cornerbacks, it takes a lot of pressure because the quarterback is going to be throwing the ball quicker, and you're not going to have to cover as long. Hopefully, that's the idea of the scheme. Remember, the scheme is an idea, so you're not going to have to cover as long, and it's going to create opportunities, with rush throws from quarterbacks, whether they get sacked or they just rush the throw, for interceptions. And one of the main things, and I know the Giants kind of came on last year with the turnovers, man, but I felt like it was more fumbles and fumble recoveries than interceptions. And I think with this new scheme, and you have a ball hawk and safety back there like Dane Belton, I think it sets up perfectly, man, for him to just, get some picks, get some interceptions, man, get some turnovers, man. And of course, turnovers is going to help your offense, because you're rebuilding your offense, you're rebuilding your offensive line, and you're probably going to have a new quarterback at some point. So shout out to Big Pat in the building, my bro. Big Pat, what's good with you, man? Perfect timing, man. I know you know schemes and X's and O's. So I'm gonna give you the floor, man. What is your thoughts about Dane Belton, man? We're just to give you a little recap. We're just talking about players that we've drafted that, if they step up in 2024 and they improve in 2024, we might have something here. We don't have to keep drafting player over player over player. As far as I don't mean it like that, but I mean as far as like, oh, we have a hole here because we don't have a solidified bone known starter, when we can have players develop on a roster that can take starting positions. And so that's kind of the conversation we have in here. But what's your thoughts on Dane Belton, man, and what do you think his potential could possibly be?
I think Dane Belton can play the same role Xavier McKinney played and actually create more turnovers, to be honest with you. The game that he started when Pinnock went down against the Rams, he had 3 turnovers that game. He had a fumble recovery and 2 picks. He had more picks than McKinney last year, and extremely limited time. I think Dane Belton can actually turn into be a very good safety in this league, given a chance. I think he can do that coverage role just like Xavier McKinney can. I also think he can be a tackler like Xavier McKinney. Health issues, I don't think he has really any health issues. He hasn't had a chance to actually develop a health issue, so we'll have to see exactly if he does become the starter, how can he handle a full season? Because Xavier McKinney played every snap and didn't get hurt, so that's a plus with Xavier McKinney that we might lose with that. But as far as production and play, I think we could get similar stuff from him, man. Just being honest with you, I think we could get similar stuff from him.
Yeah, I agree with you there, bro. I think so too, man. And look, man, the kid was drafted in the fourth round, like I said, and we we've seen flashes from him already. So it's not like we haven't at least seen it from Dane Belton. Now, of course, he's got to be more consistent, different things like that needs to be developed. This is what we're talking about here. Theme of the day, development. And so yeah, I agree with you. I think he can take that role of Xavier McKinney, man. But get to a couple comments, then I'm gonna pass it over to Coach. E says has way more experience than people give him credit for. Very instinctual, crafty in the run game, and is not afraid to get gritty. He's not McKinney and doesn't need to be. Give him his own label. Exactly. We don't need him to be McKinney. That's a good answer right there, E. We don't need all these players to be the player that we're replacing. We don't need Eric Gray to be Saquon Barkley. We don't need Trey Hawkins to be a Dory Jackson. We don't need Dane Belton to be McKinney. You know what I mean? Let them develop and let them put their own stamp on the NFL and be the players that they can be. They'll give you something different. They'll give you something different. I'm telling you, because we complain about a lot of our players, but then when they leave, we're like, oh man, well, we don't have nobody to replace them. You know what I mean? So
they were all pros all of a sudden. It's ridiculous.
It's weird, man. It's weird here with Giants fans, man. But Perry says, I love our front seven: Kayvon, Dex, Burns, Bobbio, and McFadden. Totally agree, man. Booking says interceptions comes down to pressure. Yeah, that's what we talking about. If we can get pressure on the quarterback without having to blitz, that does what? It leaves more players in coverage.
Yes,
and you get more picks, you get more opportunities for interceptions. But shout out to Terriondrick Rainey. I think that's about.
I know who that is. What's going on? He hates Daniel Jones.
But superstar. Yeah, we know a lot of people hate Daniel Jones, but we're not here for Daniel Jones today. Let's give him a break, man. Let's give the conversation a break. Right. But Iman says, yeah, McKinney was there. Let's see how he does without McKinney there. I still think he'll be fine. Because we have to realize too, we do have another safety named Pinnock.
Man, I think he's gonna be a star in this system.
And I think so too, man. I'm very, very high on that guy, man. Pause. You know what I mean? Pinnock is a good fucking solid player. I'm telling you.
Yep.
He really is, man. That dude, if he can just get his tackling a little more consistent, man, he's gonna be he gonna be a player. I'm telling you, man. He's gonna definitely be a player. But Coach, what's your thoughts on Dane Belton, man, and talk to me about what you think his potential is and how he can develop in this new system.
I've always loved Dane Belton, especially coming out of college. Any guys who play defense at Iowa, the first thing is they are fundamentally sound. They understand defense, and they play it at the highest of levels. So him in this with the Giants, I think it will translate. You've seen bits and pieces. Hell, you've even seen sometimes the last year they went a couple of three safety, went with three safeties sometimes. So that tells you that they believe in his talent and his capabilities. Does he need to continue to develop? Yes. Now, is this system probably more suited for him if he was coming out of Iowa versus what Wink did? Probably, because we will play a little bit more zone. Whether it's too high, single high, we'll mix it up. He can still, on occasion cover a slot or receiver. You don't need him to stick with him for 8 seconds, but he's serviceable enough to know how to stay whether top high on him or know that he has deep health and knows how to undercut and things of that nature. So he's good. He still needs to be developed, like I said, and I think eventually you will see the true Dane Belton, and just like every other safety that's left that everyone complained about. We can go to what's his name who went to Washington. You can talk about Julius
Yeah,
Peppers and people question.
Collins, Peppers. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
and
see
what
where you're
happened?
going.
We replaced them. You
Yep.
know, now
And
are some are as elite as others? No, but they are good enough to play to a point where you don't have to sit here and bite your nails and piss on yourself worrying about are they going to get beat,
yeah.
or are they going to make mental mistakes that causes a back end breakdown? No, he knows exactly what he needs to do and how to play it, and he's perfectly fine.
And that's a good thing that you touched on right there, Coach, man, because I don't see, like, I remember back in the day, you remember when we had like Stevie Brown and like some of these other safeties we had. You seen a lot of blown coverages and just mental mistakes. I don't see that from these DBs anymore. I just don't. It seems like if they get beat, they just get beat because they ain't fast enough, or they, you know what I mean? You just get beat. You don't see like the blown coverages and a lot of the mental mistakes, man, that we've seen out of the cornerbacks, man, in recent years, man. And I think that's a testament to Jerome Henderson. I really do. You know what I mean? So
let me ask you guys this question. We all say Jerome Henderson is the best in the business, right? Would you guys be scared if Nick McLeod went into the season as a number 2 corner? I think that dude has a knack for turnovers too.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. We talked about Trey Hawkins earlier, but Nick McLeod is another player that we could add to this list. You know what I mean? I don't, like I said, I don't worry about our DBs like I used to, and that is just because of Jerome Henderson. Like they're not gonna look stupid out there. You know what I mean? Like as long as he's got some talent to work with, we're not gonna look dumb out there. You know what I mean? And the scheme fits. The scheme is going to help. I think the scheme might help Jerome Henderson, get a defensive coordinator job, maybe. You know what I mean? Because I think these DBs, like you said, Pat, they're going to get some turnovers. I think they're going to get some turnovers, man. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad at Nick McLeod going into the season as CB2. Now, it's always going to factor in injuries. When injuries happen, who's going in at either spot, CB1 or CB2? And that's kind of why I brought Trey Hawkins up earlier, because I think if Nick McLeod was to get that CB2 job, he's the guy that's going to go in if something happens to Banks or something happens to McLeod. You know what I mean?
Unless we draft a DB high, which I can see them doing. But I'll be honest with you, I think Trey Hawkins benefits in the system well too, because we get pressure from forward. That automatically makes your DBs better. I don't care what anybody says.
Yep.
I don't care about all the everybody can't be rated a freaking 99 on Madden.
Right. It ain't Madden.
Fantasy teams, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes
shout out to Tommy.
What's up, Tommy? Sometimes you have to have a system in place that allows players to be
12.
Yep.
Tommy 12. sorry, Pat. Go ahead.
Yeah, the 12 personnel. That's a good name, Tommy 12. But sometimes you have to have a team where a system is in place where a player is better than what they would usually be if they were the main focus. Somebody like a Nick McLeod can benefit from pressure at 4. What's going on, Tudo? DJ is a Terminator. What's going on, Zion? Where they can benefit from the pressure from 4, or if we send 5, because if you're getting pressure from 4, hell, I could give you a couple of good plays at DB. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If I'm able to just sit there in the zone and get to a spot and wait and know that the quarterback is going to have to get the ball out in a certain amount of times, that allows you to jump routes.
Shout out to
my
Craig.
Boys from the Cowboys.
Shout out to Ballfoot. Appreciate y'all.
Our boys from the Cowboys, Diggs and Bland.
Dave.
They're able to jump routes and do the things that they do because they get so much pressure from that front 7 with Parsons, Lawrence and Armstrong and all those guys that were there last year. We're gonna see what they do this year since they lost so many people. But when you have a pass rush that could get there and you only got to send 4 or maybe 5, that allows your DBs to upgrade their level. That allows them, oh yeah, I could break on this out route because you're gonna have to get the ball out sooner anyway. He ain't gonna be able to pump fake and do a double move and that shit because he's going to get hit. Boom, I'm able to jump the route, pick 6. Boom, we make you go to a certain spot on the field, and as long as we tackle, you finna get off the field. You see what I'm saying? That's how good defenses play. 49ers do it all the time. They don't have to send blitzes at you all the time to get you off the field.
Philadelphia, look at their cornerback room. Their corners ain't great, but they get that pressure, and it makes them look better than what they are.
That's very true, Iman Perry. They didn't get that pressure in the playoffs. You see, they got their ass whooped by the Packers, right? Because those DBs are not as advertised. They're benefiting from the good pressure they get from the defense, which is smart. You don't have to have everybody. Everybody believe your team has to have Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, Warren Sapp, Aaron Donald, Patrick Willis, Ray Lewis, Deion Sanders, Champ Bailey, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu to be good. This ain't fantasy football. This ain't what they call that on Madden, where they get those fantasy players.
Oh, it's like the ultimate team or some shit like that.
Team, this is not ultimate team. Everybody ain't gonna have a Hall of Famer at every position. You rarely get teams that have that many Hall of Famers on one team. Like the Cowboys back in the day when they made their run, or the 49ers when Joe Montana was making his run. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? So you have to build a defense to your strength. If Williams' strength is playing man coverage without having to press, do you need a defensive line that can get there with 4? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You need a defensive line that can get there with 4 so he can play that press man without having to put his hands on the DB, but he's a shadower. And if he's able to shadow somebody, you saw what he was doing in camp. He was making plays.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? It didn't come until he had to do coverage on double moves and everything when he got out there where he started getting abused because our pass rush wasn't getting there without a blitz. And so he became exposed. Does that mean that he's a player that you can't have on your team? No, he's just a player that's just not a Champ Bailey or somebody that can do coverage at anything. But you build your system according to your personnel.
Right, Zion. Exactly, and that's what it's all about. And that's what I think the issue with Wink and Brian Dable was. I don't think Dable wanted to blitz as much as Wink was. And Wink's like, fuck you. I'm Wink Martindale. I'm going to do what I want to do.
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
And so, but Dable's right though. That blitzing, it's cool when it works, but when it don't work, bro, you get cooked.
Oh my god, cooked.
And that's what happened in them 2 Cowboys games. We was getting cooked because that blitz was not working. That line was picking them. Them boys were shredding us. And
picking
it's like,
apart.
and it's like, so you have to be able to adjust, man. And I think the way Brian Dable wants to play, he wants a little more of a bend but don't break defense. Not saying that you have to bend and give up the goods, pause, but at least don't let them run all over your defense, man, because you're getting quick passes and slants getting taken for touchdowns because you blitzing and you ain't got nobody in coverage. And they getting beat, man. So I think that's a big component, man, of where we trying to take this defense now. Let's not get burnt and put up 40, 50 points. When you play bad teams, you can shut them out like you did with the Patriots and Jets and shit. But when you play the better teams, man, your defense is gonna get beat. Unless they getting a bunch of turnovers, man.
Exactly. The only reason why we were in the Rams game because we got 3 turnovers, and they still put up 20-something points. And we had 3 turnovers. Hell, Washington, we had 6 turnovers, and they still almost won the game. If we didn't get a pick six at the end, tells you how good the offense was playing. But never mind. Go ahead,
The,
Coach.
the,
You was gonna
the
say
one thing that that I liked about this game is the stunts. All right, because
right.
you do different. There are different stunts you can do, even with second level, but even with the first level, you can run a Texas and a tackle and twist. You can have your line overload one side and have your nose in a zero. Have a 4 eye or a five. I'm sorry, have a five, and you could have your end not in a wide nine, but maybe in a six, and the two inside guys step and slant to the outside, and then that edge guy will loop to the inside. How many times did we complain about our guards not being able to pick up a damn twist? Well, now
Oh my
we can now start to do that.
Hey,
You know,
Coach, just to add that, I want to ask you a question about that. Do you think we have the guys to run those stunts at the defensive tackle position? I know Dexter Lawrence is going to do his thing, but if we're not in what everybody likes to call NASCAR, but if we're not in one of those amoeba packages where we have Brian Burns standing up in the middle of the field, or have a Thibodeau standing up in the middle of the field, which you pretty much know what's coming, do we have a defensive tackle that can run that system like Autry did over there with Tennessee? I don't think we have one right now.
let me before you answer that, Coach, because
mm-hmm.
Pat is actually going to lead into the next players I was going to talk about here. As far as development, man, y'all cooking today, man. It's good stuff, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. Hit that like button, man. Share the video. Subscribe to all three channels. Unpopular Opinion Sports, Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports, and Big Pat's Sports Talk. But Pat, you right there, man. Talk about Jordan Raleigh and DJ Davison. Let's get into it, man. Go ahead, Coach.
Pat asks, do we have at the way it currently is constructed? No. But I think DJ Davison can develop into that type of a type of a tackle. At least if he's the type of guy who, you know what, he sets the loop where you know what he could step, and he can even do it with Dexter Lawrence on the inside. You can have him step and crash down, hit the center, and Dexter, with his big self, will push him the center right into him and loop around, and the guard is going to be caught off spot with it. Or you can even play like you're sending a linebacker, which that guard might eye and slide because he's sliding away, thinking the center's going to take DJ Davison, and here comes Dexter Lawrence looping around. It's a simple X twist right there, and there you go. The linebacker disguises like he's coming, drops back in the coverage. That guard is looking at him, and next thing you know, Dexter Lawrence is blowing right by him, right into the quarterback's face. It's just little things like that helps in your defense, because now it forces the offensive line to block certain ways, to make certain adjustments, to try and identify where the pressure is coming from. That's why stunts are so effective, especially when you're going up against an offensive line that doesn't always pick it up like we've had in the past. I just love that thought. I love that concept. And even if we do send blitzes, I mean, you can even do things where you can crash one side of the defensive line into towards the center and have the mic come right off of that edge. It squeezes the pocket. That tackle is going to block down. He's going to ride down, especially if he doesn't see anything coming from the outside. And now you have a Mike linebacker who's coming off of the tackle's edge because the tackle is not looking, and he doesn't have to run all the way out wide. He can just come right off of the B gap because they compressed it. And that forces a quarterback. What is he going to do? Now, maybe he has to run towards a Brian Burns or a Kayvon Thibodeau because the pressure's coming from that other side. Now it's like Venus flytrap, where now you get the quarterback like this, and the whole pocket collapses, and he can't get the ball out. So that's why stunts are so beautiful, especially if you hit them with it at the right time. In so many games that you can play with it. There's some things that I love with wing scheme, and I get why most people don't like it. But there's other things that, you know what, I agree we shouldn't have done it. Maybe we don't have the personnel, and I think this might be better suited for our personnel and help certain guys expand their playing abilities while allowing others to still capitalize and play to the level that we're already used to seeing from them.
I'm gonna make a suggestion. Maybe we do go in the draft. Maybe see if we can get one in the draft. Maybe in the fourth, fifth round. A pass rusher, defensive tackle. You see what I'm saying? Like those times where you don't want to, just show exactly what you're finna do on third downs. Like it's a 3rd and 5 or a 3rd and 6. You don't want to do the amoeba package where you have Ojulari, Thibodeau, and Burns out there. Maybe you want to just go with straight 4 and depend on a stunt from your 2 defensive tackles to get that pressure up the middle. And like I said, like you said, like a fly trap and grab them at a certain point in the backfield. I think we do need a pass rushing defensive tackle. Jordan Riley is nice against the run. He's shown that. I think he's a very strong defensive tackle. Maybe he could develop into that. But just basing it off today, you would want to get a pass rushing defensive tackle. But if he develops into an archery type guy, Riley, oh man.
Yeah,
we got something.
Riley Davidson, exactly.
Yeah. That's Davidson. Like, what you thoughts about DJ Davidson, 5th round pick, man?
I think he's a talented individual too. I do believe he's strong at the point of the run, and he's actually shown the way he can get back there a little bit too if you give him the chance. But I'm looking at somebody like the Fisk kid from Florida State. If you put him next to Dexter, oh my goodness,
2nd round.
He's a he's a 2nd rounder. What if he's there at 47 and they take him? Would you be pissed?
You're talking about Braden Fisk?
Yeah,
Braden Fisk.
Yeah.
See, here's the other thing about the stunts that you can do. It helps guys like this become better players, especially pass rushing, whatever the case may be. So you're not someone just put it in. You're not. I think it was Tommy. You're not just rushing the quarterback straight up. You're giving movement. Where, you know what, Dexter Lawrence can chip off of offensive lineman and DJ Davidson or Riley can loop around him because Dexter is going to command that respect. And next thing you know, here comes that defensive lineman right up the A or the B gap, and the quarterback is surprised because he wasn't expecting it. So it helps guys like this.
Yeah, I think they're going to use Dex as a battering ram, bro, in this system. Sometimes when you see a defensive tackle just to take out 2 people so somebody can loop around, like who better to do that than Dex? Because you need to block him with 2 people when he's focused on getting at the quarterback.
Yeah.
So imagine if he's around and he's just going there and knocking some people out the way, so somebody quick like Burns could get in there and it's like, holy crap.
Do y'all remember when we had Strahan and OC? What one of the famous loops that they used to do? Remember, they used to take both tackles, widen them out, fly them out, and those 2 would loop to the inside. It always seemed to work. So that's thing.
It used to be, who was it? Robbins and
Brad Robbins and Jay Alfred, wasn't it?
It was Alfred was the backup. It was Robbins. Who's the dude that used to shock himself when he get a sack? Was that Robbins?
I know you're talking about.
Who's the dude that used to do that to him? Dan says, pretend like he was shocking himself after he got the sack.
Yeah, I know you. I'm trying
to
remember.
My God, it was Fred Robbins. Oh Lord, chat help me. I always forget. Barry Cofield. There you go. Thank you, Iman.
Okay. Thank you, Barry.
It used to be Barry Cofield, Fred Robbins. Then we went to Linville Joseph. Man, we had so many defensive tackles that left and became beasts, bro.
Yeah. We definitely get the defensive tackles.
We've given the league so many gifts at the defensive tackle position. Because Cofield left and became good. Robbins was good a couple of years after he left.
You know what this says, Pat?
Hankins, Tomlinson.
This speaks to coaching, coach. This speaks to coaching. If these guys go somewhere else and they make names for themselves, then it comes back down to the coaching. We did not maximize and get the best out of these guys, or we had the wrong system and we were trying to fit a round hole into a square peg.
I think I don't know about that, Coach. I think when it comes to defensive tackles, I just think we let them go because we always have another one ready to step
Yeah, BJ Hill,
in the
everybody.
position.
Well, we had Chris Jenkins. We brought in Chris Canty. Chris Canty leaves. We bring in my boy from Alabama. Tomlinson. We had Tomlinson and BJ Hill. We had Hankins on the team at one time.
That's the point I'm saying. It's crazy how we rotate and we let certain ones go and they still continue, where we could have used those guys here, and maybe if we drafted players behind them, maybe then you can allocate that one position to another, the draft capital to another position. I mean, what I'm saying is if you're rolling them out and they're still going elsewhere in the league and they're still playing effective for years, why are we not keeping them and then using the spot to fill another hole?
First and foremost, the defensive tackle position is not a sexy position.
No,
I know. Unless it's somebody like Aaron Donald or Chris Jones.
I know. I was never the
fat
sexy
boys.
one.
Yeah, the fat boys. You go out there, you can find yourself 12 million. Good luck on your endeavors. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I get it. I know it's the business. I get the business. I'm just saying sometimes but when you have so many, sometimes it's like, you know what, let's keep one. And instead of drafting someone behind him, we know we have him. He's going to be here. Let's fill another spot somewhere else. That's all I'm saying.
We never capitalized on it. All those defensive tackles we had, we let go of JPP.
Dex is the first one we paid.
Dex is the first one we paid.
Actually,
and that's because Dex. That's because Dex is an all-pro. Like those other guys were very good. And some of them were close to getting to that Pro Bowl, all-pro level, but Dex showed to be the number one defensive tackle in the league for a year or two. They had no choice but to pay him. And they still got him at a discounted price. You see what I'm saying? So Dex just proved to be the best one that we've seen so far, that I've seen at defensive tackles for the Giants so far as prominence in his era. Now, we've had some great defensive tackles before him. He says Burns will have best year by far. Watch Burns and you see the QB stepping up in the pocket to avoid the rush against the Giants. You cannot do that with Dex inside. That's a fact. I think this is the first time that we're going to take advantage of one of our defensive tackles in a long time.
Yeah.
Because when we had Cofield, and Robbins, we had Strahan and OC and Kiwanuka to take advantage on the edge. Like, they're stopping you from stepping up in the pocket because they're getting their little pressure. And now you got two monsters coming from the outside. That's why our defense was pretty stout in the playoffs. And you're gonna need that. Those cold weather teams, that eats you alive when you got the edge rushers getting in there like that. And it's cold outside and that wind is whipping and everything. Like, we have to be able to take advantage of that trash ass stadium with that weather. You know what I'm saying?
I miss the old one. I miss Parcells. Parcells with a little trick and opening the back door so the wind comes. Yes. So
they tried to get him in trouble for that one time too.
Coach, you're so right with this comment. I agree. Teams still draft for superstars instead of drafting talent to develop into superstars. Everyone wants success overnight. You're so right, man.
Everybody wants success overnight. Oh, you draft a cornerback high, he has to be the best corner in the league immediately. That's stupid.
Look, I say
enjoy the process, man.
And there you go. It's like making some great food. Sometimes, we want it right away, but if you throw something in the smoker, you got to let that sit for a couple hours.
What?
When it comes out,
that's like when I make my chili, man. I can make that chili and set that thing on super high so it can get heated real fast. But the doggone onion's gonna taste raw. The bell pepper gonna taste raw. It ain't gonna blend in. The seasoning ain't gonna blend in. But sit that mug on simmer for about an hour. Man, that chili gonna be so flavorful when you finally get into it.
Same thing here. Yep.
I'm telling you, bro. It's like everybody. You draft him out. Kayvon Thibodeau has to get 20 sacks his rookie year because we took him at number 5. Like, come on, man. Let that man develop. Don't you know those players that develop like that? When they get into their prime, 27 to 32, they're monsters. Like absolute monsters.
Yeah.
Because they've learned everything from the veterans those first couple of years. Now they're getting into they're in what do you call that? Overdrive now. Their bodies are used to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
They have their grown man bodies. They have their grown man knowledge for those 2 years, for those 4 to 5 years, and that's when they just destroy the league. And then it starts to pace off just a little bit after, when you turn like 34, 35, when your body ain't the way it used to be. Then that's when it starts to calm down a little bit. People don't understand. You still in your prime when you're in 30, 31, 32, 33, 30. That's your prime. That's when you getting it. And then it starts to break down after that. If you taking care of yourself from the beginning of your career and people took the time to develop you. That's where Hall of Famers come from.
So talk to me. We'll wrap up the defensive conversation here. Spend a lot of time on the defense. I want to talk about a couple offensive players before we close out. Jordan Riley and DJ Davison. We talking about all the great Giants defensive tackles. This is a great conversation, man, because we've had some really, really good ones. Out of these two guys, who do y'all feel confident in the most to step up and be that next defensive tackle for the New York Giants? Which one?
For me, it is Davison right now.
Davison.
Other than the injuries, he was coming on beautifully, and he's shown he has the skill set, the tools. He can push the pocket. He's good at stopping the run. He has good movement. So, and I'm not taking anything away from Riley. I think Riley is pretty much going to be right there with him. It's just that he just still needs to develop a little bit more. But I think DJ Davison right now today is a little bit ahead of him. So that's who I think I'm confident right now. If you put him in there to start, I have no concerns. I don't worry. I think he'll get the job
done. Pat, what you think?
Actually, I agree with Coach on that stance. If you just looking at the player who's developed a little bit more, it is DJ Davison. But I will say this:
Chat saying Riley, yeah.
I think the better guy, the dude that's going to turn into be the better defensive tackle, is whoever you give the shot to. It's just the way it's going to come down with those two. If you give DJ Davison a shot, Jordan Riley's not going to beat him out, because I believe they're on the same level as talent level, to be honest with you. And it just depends on who impresses more during camp. They're both going to get their shot unless we take a defensive tackle high. Then I say, hey, both of them just going to fill for a backup role here soon. But it's just whoever you believe in. But Riley, if he gets the chance, I think he can dominate too, to be honest with you.
Yeah. He says Riley only because of Burns. Iman says Riley reminds me of Chris Jones. Man Cave says Davison is just injury prone. So
the Riley to Jones comparison is, I don't know, it's a stretch for me, Iman, and I say this because Chris Jones can go outside and play on the edge.
Yep.
Jordan Riley can't do that. He can't do that. Chris
Jones is a 1-on-1 to me.
Yeah,
Chris Jones is a monster. He single-handedly won some playoff games for them boys.
Same to you, Coach. Happy Easter to you and your family, man. Thanks for stopping in, man.
Shout out to you.
Definitely one of the ones I like watching his breakdowns. Some, questionable. They're gonna have you raise your eyebrows, but he knows his shit. So good stuff.
All right, East Coast.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. But let's get into the offense. First offensive player I want to talk about is Mr. Daniel Bellinger. A lot of people.
Belly.
A lot of people, man. Shout out to Bellinger, man. I actually got a chance to say what's up to him at the draft, man. Via FaceTime, so that was pretty dope. But Daniel Bellinger, man, had a good rookie season, a lot of promise. Giants went out, brought Darren Waller in. Belly kind of took a back seat. And when he got in the game, when Waller was hurt, I mean, he didn't really do, he didn't really perform like he performed in 2022. So, but I still have a lot of confidence in this kid, man. And I think, again, if he continues to develop, I think he can be a solid tight end, man. I think he can, man. I don't feel the Giants need to go out and get this great tight end or this, Travis Kelsey, George Kittle type of tight end. You get you some blocking tight ends, and you get you a Daniel Bellinger who can be like a Jake Ballard, who can be like a Kevin Boss type of tight end, that can block when he needs to, but can also go out there, run some routes, and get some first downs for you. That's kind of how I look at Daniel Bellinger. I think he's just a solid tight end. This is a position right here where I don't think the Giants need a Brock Bowers or even a Darren Waller. I think if you just get a couple of solid guys that can go out there, can make the blocks when they need to make them, and that'll, like that little route they was doing, him and Daniel Jones in 2022. You know what I mean? Bellinger was catching those passes, those first downs and touchdowns on that little crossing route or whatever. But that's where I think that's how I see Daniel Bellinger in this system, man. And I think we do need tight ends that's just solid all around tight ends. You can get the pass catching tight end if you want to, man, but just give me a Kevin Boss, give me a Jake Ballard or somebody like that. Give me a Daniel Bellinger. They brought in a couple other tight ends that can block, and let's get some blocking for our quarterback and a nice little safety blanket when things break down. But what is your thoughts, man? We'll start with Coach, then we'll go over to Pat.
I mean, I've always believed in Belly. I mean, from his first season, we stopped doing a lot of split zones. I don't know if it's because
split zone. That's the
they felt the league caught up to him, but that's something that you still continue to use. I mean, because of what it does and how it helps in other aspects of your offense. But yeah, I mean, we didn't utilize him properly. We're always trying to keep him in to help out in blocking. That starts with the offensive line, though. If we're not getting quality production from the offensive line, you're forced to keep him in, which is now limiting what you can do on the back end. Just like we were talking about defensively, putting pressure with four. If you're forcing the offense to bring an extra receiver in basically to block, then you're not defending five guys down the field. You're defending four. And if they have a back in the backfield, then it's three, and then the back is only going certain places. So having a tight end like Bellinger who can stretch the field vertically as well as horizontally is very important.
Yeah.
And Kafka and Dable have to use these guys the right way. You brought these other guys in. I've heard different things. They're good at blocking. They can catch the ball, and okay, fine. These guys got to show us something. They got to help. But in the same token, the offensive line has to do their job to allow the tight ends like Belly to go out there and do his job. Like Cager, even though he's not the greatest blocker, you have to pull him in. Whether Waller is here or these other guys, if they can't go down the field, then the defense pretty much is dictating what you can do offensively, which is why these tight ends are important in this offense.
Good analysis, Coach. Get to a couple comments, and I'm gonna hear what Pat got to say. Waller needs to retire, free up that money, and T1 spot. Yeah, I don't know what Darren Waller's waiting on. Is he waiting to after the draft to see if the Giants take a quarterback or not? I don't know, man. That's my little conspiracy theory, but he does need to let them know what's going on. Like, either you playing or you not, dude. Let's go. Like, it's kind of getting annoying there a little bit. Play Collins held us back. Yeah, I agree. Cage is another guy, but I don't know about his blocking. His blocking is very suspect, to put it nicely. Bowers is too small. Dominique Parks, shout out to you. I know this is unpopular, but Bellinger has top 5 potential. Hey, we love them unpopular opinions here. Mm-hmm. Y'all keep bringing them unpopular opinions. Y'all keep lighting up the chat, man. Appreciate y'all. Top 5, yeah. Hey, look, I said it. The kid can block. That's one. And he can run routes. Does his route running need to get a bit better to be elite? Of course. But top 5, I mean, I don't think that's too much of a stretch. Actually, man, if developed and if we get somebody in here that's really going to get him the football. Iman says, O-line needs to block. Yep, exactly. Good point. Step back because he's putting this scheme he was not properly used in. Yep. I think he got it for real. All right, Pat, talk to me, bro. What's your thoughts on Daniel Bellinger, man? What's good, man? How you see him coming into the season?
I actually see him having a pretty good season if we allow him to play. Daniel Bellinger, his rookie season proved that he can be a red zone threat. As coach said, he was catching a lot of those touchdowns off those play actions and those easy touchdowns at the back of the end zone. He actually ran one in too, to be honest with you. I think Daniel Bellinger is more than just a blocking tight end, and hopefully this coaching staff can see it, because I actually do believe Bellinger can be.
Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you, brother.
I actually do believe Bellinger could be one of those second-tier tight ends, like right underneath Hockenson or somebody like that. I think he could be that type of tight end if you allow him, to be a part of the offense. Like, get him in the flat where we do a bootleg and let him catch that ball. And every time he catches the ball, something good happens. Like, he gets a first down or he gets a lot of yardage. Something good happens when he catches the ball. I think with the whole Wallace situation, everything went to garbage last year. And maybe it's, when a little kid, when they see some food, they full, but they still want to try to get that food because they think they're missing out on something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That might be the situation with Waller. Who knows? Coach Dave obviously is going to make a joke about the quarterback. Oh, he's definitely waiting to see if we draft a quarterback. Like, what clout does he have to do that? You know what I'm saying? He has no leverage here.
I was joking when I said that, but I knew Coach Dave was going to pick up on that.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's funny.
With the tight end position, we got blocking tight ends now. I say give Bellinger his shot.
He said he needed a outfit. Trench coat in the video.
That trench coat. But I'll say this about Bellinger, and this is not a knock on Bellinger's attitude towards the game or anything. I think if we go this season and we don't give Bellinger his legit shot that I think he's earned, I think he checks out on the Giants. I think he becomes like another Caden Smith. Because I think Caden Smith, remember the tight end that was catching those passes from Daniel Jones in the beginning, and we kept benching him?
Yeah.
I think we're doing the same thing to Bellinger. Me personally, Waller, I know that he's a talent, but if his head is not in it, he's not gonna be good. No use to anybody, bro.
Yeah.
It's serious. Like,
they said, if you retire, you're thinking about retiring, you're already retired. Like, if you're contemplating it this much, like you're not there. You know what I mean? You're not there. You know what I mean? So
yeah, if his head isn't into it, he's no good to anybody. So to be honest with you, I give him a deadline by the draft. And that's just to be fair to him, because I don't know, what are you going to do, sir? Like, can we depend on you to be the number one weapon we thought you can be? Is your head back into the game? Because obviously his head wasn't into the game as like it should have been, and that's why he didn't produce the way that he normally produces. Because if that dude is locked in, oh yeah, he's a weapon. But if we gotta know if we're gonna have you or not. If not, shit, I might not have no choice but to take Malik Neighbors at 6.
You're gonna need somebody.
Yeah, I'm gonna need somebody. I'm gonna need an alpha somewhere. So it is what it is. I don't think we use Waller to his greatest capability, but if his head wasn't into it, maybe that's why they weren't going to him like that. Like what's this dude doing? Is he locked in?
Ooh, what a shot.
Yeah, so, I don't think he's washed up. I just think, like Pat said, I don't think his head was in the game. And I don't think the Giants were doing him no favors with that shitbag offense that they put out there last year.
They definitely weren't doing him no favors.
You know what? Here's one thing too, and people may want to try and blow it off. Y'all forget he was just married, and his wife, even though she plays basketball in Las Vegas. Come on, man, that's a lot. When you are first married as two athletes, somebody's gonna have to sacrifice, man.
And clearly he thinks about it, because and his little music that he putting out, he's
yeah. So I mean, unless she's going to magically get traded out here, or he's going to have to retire, and That's the thing. It's like, the human element. Sometimes we forget to put the human element into these
Yes,
players,
That's
and
true.
he
and
might not. He might have not been focused, coach. He just
exactly.
was married.
And she's
I
out there in Vegas. She's doing
yeah.
her thing. She won another championship. Damn against my damn Liberty, but uh, but still no. I mean,
Oh,
yo,
Kelsey
she
Plum.
was
That's his wife's
Mm-hmm.
name. Okay, yeah.
just married. I mean, literally just
Mhm.
married, and a month later, he's off to come to New York. That
Yeah.
ain't no.
Yep.
Come on, man. Think about it. If
I
you
think
just
he
got
never
married,
planned on leaving Las Vegas. I really thought.
exactly.
I really think that he
Yeah,
thought the
he was
Raiders was gonna
shocked
keep him.
at the trade. He was. You could tell he was kind of surprised.
All
We
I
were
gotta
all
say is,
surprised.
I
Yeah,
got a
like,
woman like that. I ain't gonna be mad at him because he gonna retire because he won't be around her. Shit, I would too, man.
and I don't think the Giants are gonna be mad if he retires. And like, let's just
No,
move on with it. You know what I'm saying? He
I
says this
think he gets you get
hamstring is off the bone.
I think you get $8 million too back. So that's money that,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, the Giants can also cut him. Let's be real, they can
yeah.
Yeah, they
cut
can make
him.
him a
So
June first
Nah, I
cut.
would cut him. He'll go to Dallas or somewhere. Come on, man, just retire.
if he's
Fuck
thinking
all that.
about retiring now, it's gonna be hard for
Let him
me to
retire.
see.
Don't let him
Yeah.
cop
So,
out. Yeah, don't let him cop out. Release
oh,
him so he
man, come on, man.
go
No,
somewhere
hell
else
no, hell
and
no. I like
fucking
Clayton.
then he'll
I like
magically get his head back together and be a fucking
man,
all pro.
bro. I love Caitlin Clark, but not over no Kelsey Plum, man. She a fine. She fine, bro. She fine. She
But the thing
yeah.
is, to be honest with you, with Darren Waller, I truly believe he thought that he was going to make his home over
Mm-hmm.
to Vegas. Him and Kelsey Plum were going to play in Vegas together for the
Mm-hmm.
Raiders, and I forgot the name of that Vegas team.
Aces.
Respect.
Aces. Yeah.
And the trade to New York came, was like, whoa, that ruined my whole. You know what I'm saying? I think they was finna build their nest egg right there in Las Vegas. Because to be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey Plum, she's not making that much in the WNBA. Now she
Mm-mm.
may be making a lot in endorsements more than likely, yeah. But they're gonna need that money because I'm quite sure he could make some babies with that woman. Because I sure would.
See, that's what
He
I'm
better,
talking about.
hey, what my man put up here though. Shout out to Steven, said if he honest about his rap career, then he will be playing this year. Yep, I'm with you, bro, because you ain't gonna make it rapping, dog. If you really trying to get this money, you
Hey,
better
to be
suit up and
honest
play
with
for
you,
the Giants.
now that I think about it, that could have messed with him psychologically too, because he built his sobriety in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
And when he
Listen,
married
man.
that woman, whatever Kelsey Plum is to him, more than likely helped him with his sobriety as well. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think he met her as when he started getting on his, his shit about getting healthy and getting off
Mm-hmm.
drugs. And
Yeah.
so that might be a culture shock to him. You know what I'm saying? Like people like that need stability, bro. Like they need to
Mm-hmm.
know what's going to happen when they wake up. I really think they planned on being out there in Vegas together like that. And when he got that call that he got traded, that really messed him up. You know what I'm saying? And that dude, Josh McDaniels, is an ass, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think that really he messed up what's that receiver, white boy over there receiving?
Oh, Henry
And, Winthrow
Ruggs
or
was it?
no, 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 no,
Renfro?
no.
Oh, him Renfro,
Renfro
and then you had
messed his
Ruggs
career up.
who got locked up.
Mac Hollins, look at Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins was balling for them. They messed him
Shit, they
up.
trying to fuck up Devontae Adams.
Right, they messed up Waller. I think Antonio Pierce
Yeah,
changes
and
that.
Pierce gonna get him back, right? I agree.
Yeah, so I truly believe that was a
Oh
culture shock
shit!
to him.
Damn ghost! Damn ghost! Damn! I'm sorry. He said Clark looks like a young female Mel
She
Gibson.
does.
Damn!
She do look like
Yeah,
Mel Gibson.
that's
But
cold.
I truly believe that's why he's thinking about retiring. I think he wants to go back out there to Vegas
Look,
and be out there in Vegas, man. That's a culture shock to somebody that's battling
look.
for their sobriety. To be
He
honest with you.
retired. If he retires, that's fine. Somebody on one of these networks will pick him up. Number one, he has that deep voice. so it will draw people in. And you know what? He's a fairly handsome man. So, you put him in a suit and tie or whatever, and you put him out there, people will follow and people will listen. And he could be in Vegas and he could be with his wife. She's doing her thing. I will say this, the WNBA is going to be starting to get flush with money. Not millions, because the top players are making like $260,000.
Damn, he said his workout bonus is 3/4 of her
Yeah, it
annual.
is.
Yeah,
God,
it is.
Damn.
I'm telling
All
you,
he got to do is just show up to camp.
It makes more money.
And that's the point. It's like, but then again, if he goes to a network, maybe he gets, $1 million, $2 million to start. Even if it's 500,000 with her salary, they're set. So,
oh, you mean like broadcasting coach?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. I'm
Okay.
talking
He
about
definitely could go into broadcasting.
Yeah, I could see that.
Long as he keeps his sobriety, he can do anything he want with that broadcasting because pause, like Coach say, he has that deep voice. He is considered handsome in this world. 6'5", 6'6". He's good. Believe it or not, the dude actually got a couple of bars in his music. You can make fun of him. He actually has a couple of bars.
Yeah, it ain't terrible. Yeah.
It ain't terrible. It ain't gonna get him far.
It
ain't gonna make him no NFL money.
Yeah,
but it ain't no Kadarius Toney as far as rapping.
Hell no. But in all fairness to that man, I truly believe he was getting ready to build his nest egg over there with Kelsey Plum over there in Vegas. I'm playing with the Raiders. You're playing with the Aces. We're both extremely attractive. We're going to get these endorsements. I'm going to make good money. You're going to be one of the top paid players in the WNBA, which is good money for regular people. Shit, I wish I could make $260,000 in a year.
Exactly.
Right.
And we're in Vegas. There's so many opportunities out there for them.
Exactly.
And if he could keep his sobriety in Vegas, he could keep his sobriety anywhere.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things he could get out there in Vegas that can, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It's still a business. I still would give him a deadline to the draft to let me know what you're doing. And I do believe that's the thing. Like, he's in a culture shock right now. And Joe Shane and them, they're shrewd businessmen, but I think they have a human side to them too. And that's why they're giving him his time to see exactly what you're gonna do. They're probably
Nah, fool.
They probably behind closed doors have given him a deadline to tell them exactly when he's retired. He's going to take that full opportunity. He's probably out there in Vegas right now with Kelsey Plum. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? More likely he is. And he just needs to shake back, man. If he shakes back, he's going to have a monster season. I'll tell you that now. If he shakes back and comes back to being Darren Waller, he's going to have a monster season. Or he's going to retire.
Who got Pharrell Pops?
Yeah, that shit funny. I think you're right, Pat. But I also think there is and I hate to talk about like player salaries and shit. Y'all know that, man. But I think there is an element to it to where it's like, hey, look, that dude needs to get paid. Yeah, his wife ain't it ain't like he got Giselle like Tom Brady had. Like, Shorty ain't making no bread, really. So yeah, if he's the breadwinner in the crib, then yeah, he need that NFL salary. Word up.
I mean, the flip side is she can go overseas and make money too. She can make a couple million.
But does she want to do that?
I think she, because of the WNBA and what they have, like they have to be back at a certain point in time, and internationally they want them to stay the full year for their contract. So it's a catch-22, which is what the WNBA wants. They're trying to keep American players here, but now they got to start paying them that money.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna keep it real with you. That dude too big to be a stay-at-home dad, bro. And that shit gonna turn her off. I'll print. If you want to get into some real stuff, if that dude retires and just starts working on his rap career, she'll be with it in the beginning because he is who he is. But once that starts to fade away, man, I promise you, man, that dude, she gonna get that dude up out of there. Your big 6'6",
He's sitting over here trying to be Drake. Get your ass out.
Right, I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen, bro. And
No,
I think he needs to be active doing something. That's why I think he does do his rap music. I think he needs to be active doing something to keep his sobriety.
I never was thinking him being at home. It's a stay-at-home dad. Hire a damn nanny for that shit. I'm with you. You know, yeah. Whether he's doing rap, whether he's doing TV, something. Yeah, no, don't sit at home.
If he don't go home and do no TV, because that rap shit, that shit ain't gonna matter.
That shit ain't gonna work.
He's gonna have to get a TV job.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get a TV job, and
he still will be making more money than her with a TV job.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, if he's smart, you know, everything you said about the television, and his personality is right, Coach. What better market to fucking do that in than New York? Like, if you play a couple years with the Giants and then retire, you could set up your whole broadcasting shit right here.
Well, no, not really. You can be in Vegas and still travel back and forth. Mm-hmm. They do it. Michael Strain has been doing it, going from New York to LA.
I'm saying, as far as making his identity known here, like right now, I mean,
that defeats the purpose of him retiring. Then you might as well retire. If he's going to stay here in New York and she's in Vegas, that's my point. Then you might as well stay playing. If that's the
what's
case,
he going to do in Vegas though? Right? I mean,
he could do the same thing. If you're doing TV, and if you're in Vegas, do you know how close it is to LA?
You're right.
That's a hop, skip, and a jump. My daughter is talking about moving out that way, either to Vegas or to Arizona, because it's cheaper there, and then it's easy to get to LA. So just because you're in Las Vegas, so there is things to do in Vegas. There's a lot of opportunities. Teams are going there. Businesses are going there. So don't think that because he's in Vegas, there's not much he can do except dealing with the casinos. No.
Yeah, 51 million, 22 million. Yeah, man. I mean, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, if you want your money, play out your contract. If it's really that serious, then yeah, he need to go ahead and hang it up, man. Like, but
I can't have Waller on my team if he's not 100%.
Right.
No, I agree with you there.
Because we see the player that he is when he's not laser focused. He's not a player that you would even consider making a focal point of your offense if he's not laser focused. He's one of those type players. Either he's going to be a monster or he's just going to be one of the guys.
A monster.
All right. Last player we're going to talk about. We're coming up on 2 hours. I'm not going to make this no longer than 2 today. And that's going to be Mr. Eric Gray. So we know Saquon Barkley, whatever you want to call him.
Excuse me.
And he's gone, not gonna cry over it. We're moving on. But Eric Gray, man, Eric Gray is a guy that and I know they sound Singletary, but Eric Gray, I think, can give you some solid runs. You know what I'm saying? I think he can be a solid running back in the NFL. He didn't get much burn last year, but he did get in a couple games, and show some burst, show some speed, show some decisive running, which is personally what I look for in a running back. I don't like tap dancing. Y'all remember they used to call Brandon Jacobs the tiptoe burglar in his later years, man, when he started tap dancing behind the goddamn line of scrimmage. I don't like that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I want my running backs to, one cut, hit the hole. Let's go. Let's get these yards. Let's get these tough yards. I think Eric Gray can do that. I think him and Singletary make a nice little combination. I do want to see them add another bigger back in the draft, but I'm not giving up on Eric Gray, and I'm not going to dismiss him either. It's like he's just a nobody running back, because that's what everybody wants to look at it, because he wasn't drafted in the first round or second round, or he doesn't have a big name like Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey or somebody like that. Like, a lot of these running backs make their names, being third, fourth, fifth round picks, man. I think given an opportunity, I see this kid, Eric Gray, doing some damage on the ground. I'm not going to say he's going to put up 1,000 yards or anything like that, especially if they go on running back by committee, man. But, I could see him having, a 600-700 yard season, 5-6 touchdowns, something like that, man. I mean, because the kid's got potential, man. I really think he has potential. And if our line can block, we can give any running back a chance. Word up. But what's your thoughts on Eric Gray, man? And what do you think? What do you think he ends up as far as like his potential, man? What do you think? What do you think Eric Gray can be in the NFL, man?
Go ahead, Pat. You started.
To be honest with you, with this team, since we signed and Devin Singletary, I want to kind of get a bigger back, like a Braylon Allen in the draft. But let's just say we don't. We stick with Eric Gray. I
keep
have
him
more
off special teams. I'm with that, Ghost.
you do not want him on special teams. But when I look at Eric Gray, because of the playing time that he got last year, I have way more questions than answers with Eric Gray. Can he be that short yardage back? We don't know. Because he didn't give him the burn. When he did get the burn, he went in there and he looked explosive sometimes, to be honest with
what
you.
I'm saying. When the line was blocking halfway decent.
Can he be that third down back that we throw the ball to when David Singletary needs a rest? Can he be the guy that blocked for us? Can he be a guy that we can run an outside zone and he can get to the outside and make those crucial yardages and get first downs if we run to the outside? Can we run a toss with him? Does he have enough speed? Does he have enough elusiveness? We don't know because what did he get, like 15 carries last year at the most?
Yeah,
if that.
He didn't get much.
I don't even think he got a game's worth of carries in the whole season.
I think he had, I'm gonna look it up. I think he had about, I think you're right. I think it was like 15 carries last time I looked at it.
And not to go off subject, but Coach, you've been coaching on a lot of levels. Is one of the issues with our regime right now, not saying that they're bad, is one of the issues is getting them max out of their players. And what I mean by that is when you
had
get
17
these guys,
carries, 48 yards.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? I know I'm not crazy. You only had like 15 carries, 17 carries. When they have guys like Eric Gray, do they have a problem of letting people play? Like, let the kid play. Let's see what he got. I know we got Saquon Barkley, but we see that Barkley's not able to get those short yardage situations. And a lot of the times, to be honest with you, he'll do a run in the backfield to lose 4 or 5 yards when we should have got 1 or 2 yards. You see what I'm saying? So why not give this kid some burn? We drafted him in the 4th round, 5th round?
Yeah, he was a
it's a 5th round.
5th round pick. Yeah, 5th round pick.
So, I mean, there's no risk with the guy. He's a 5th round pick. Let's see what he got.
5'10", 211 pounds. I mean, he's not a miniature running back.
Yeah, he's not. He's not. He's actually can be a pretty strong type running back. That's around the size Bradshaw was.
Yeah.
So, I don't think we give people burn the way they need burn. Like Hodgins. Why didn't Hodgins get to play a lot more last year? Why Cager didn't get to play a lot more last year? You see what I'm saying? Like, why is somebody like, was DJ Davidson hurt last year?
I think so. I think he was hurt.
The season.
Well, why was Jordan Riley not getting burned? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why are we letting people like Jihad Ward play way more than somebody like Jordan Riley? To be honest with you, why didn't we give Simmons more reps at the edge position? Because obviously you're not going to play him at safety.
No.
And he's not starting in front of Michael McFadden or Okereke inside linebacker. So why didn't we give him more burn on the edge? Just to see if he could turn into an edge rusher. Oh, well, you only 230 something. Let's get you to 250 and let you rush the passer. Because he has the frame to do it. He's fucking 6'5". He has the frame to do it. Like, I don't. Sometimes they I don't know. Like when Darren Waller was hurt, why didn't Cager get that burn to see if Cager could turn into that tight end that you want? Why didn't Bellinger get more burn?
That's what we talking about.
You asked that question of why? Because you're in the New York market, and the New York market don't have patience. Plain and simple. Think about it. Every time we turn around, what is the media talking about? What is this fan base talking about? Everyone's talking about, Evan Neal. You know what? You're ready to move him to guard, and you haven't really seen anything. The kid has only played literally a little over 23 games, 22 games.
Yeah, and
You
that's
haven't.
my thing, coach, too. Not to cut you off, man, but that's why I'm doing this show today. You know what I'm saying? Because if people want me to be patient with Evan Neal, and y'all make fair points, we need to be patient with some of these other draft picks
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is what this show's about. So I get your point with Evan Neal, and this is the whole thing about this fan base. You're right. You know what I mean? But finish your point.
I ain't got no damn patience. I'm tired of waiting to see
we
Giants
see.
win a championship. It's been damn 12 years. We ain't won shit but one playoff game in 12 years. That's a damn shame.
Okay, but
One of the best teams, one of the best organizations, one of the most touted franchises on the NFL, and you can't put together a fucking back-to-back winning season in 12 years?
okay, but the point, what the thing is in terms of players, that we're giving up on players too quickly, and we're not letting them do. We don't.
Coaches, both. I
And
agree.
coaches, and we don't let things develop. Like Pat and I talked about earlier, it's like certain foods, you got to let it cook and develop. Sometimes, New York, we just don't have the patience. I mean, not to say anything. I mean, before we got on, me and NYG, we said something about we were talking about the Yankees. And I said I was not expecting them to come out 3-0. But the point being is, you got to be patient.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. As a Knicks fan, I was expecting some type of improvement, but not. This team is playing without its key players. Yeah, exactly. So the point being is, in New York, we don't have patience with any of our teams. I don't care if it's hockey. I don't care if it's basketball, baseball, football. We don't have patience. We want instant gratification, as opposed to,
Yeah.
you know what? Sometimes these players, these young players, they take 3 years to develop. But we don't want to hear that. We don't want
And
to
you
hear
know
that.
what? And it's because your lack of patience is the reason why you can't win shit.
True.
Yeah.
But see,
Your lack. If you hold on 1 second, Lou. I'm gonna let you go because you just got on here. If you continue to complain about every single thing, bro, what does that do? It doesn't do anything. Yeah. If I have to come in and be Deion Sanders in my first year every time I get drafted,
Right.
I can't develop. The people hate me because I'm not an all pro my very first year because I was a high draft pick. I'm not Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders was special.
That's just people who watch and never played. They don't understand
Right.
the blood, sweat, the practice, the meetings, the going over the playbook, memorizing the playbook, getting the guys together and going over the plays and running drills without the coaching asking you to come to the field. You know what I'm saying? It takes all that behind the scenes work of guys that really want to win, that really want to put the work in. And that's why I love Tom Coughlin, because that second season,
Yeah.
I mean, that season where he said, okay, I need to reflect on my coaching method and make some changes. A lot of guys are too proud or too egotistical to do some self-inventory and see what they need to fix. Everybody's always quick to say him, her, they, them, and not say, wait a minute, what can I do better? You know what I'm saying? And as a team, that's what we need. And that's why I loved Coughlin, because Coughlin was like, okay, I'm losing the team. They're saying this, this, and this. What can I do to make it better? And he made the necessary adjustments. He put some of the ownership on the team and the players, made them captains, and made them hold each other accountable. And that's what we've been missing here. These players are quick to get at the podium and throw the coaching staff under the bus or throw another player under the bus, like we saw Kadarius Toney do. And you know what I'm saying? That's not how you build a team. And as far as the fan base complaining, the owners of this team are billionaires. Why the hell are you listening to a bunch of people who?
Thank you. That's where it starts from, Luke. Exactly. We all know it. It starts with him. NYG has said it. He's concerned with Mara putting his input in instead of letting general managers manage, letting coaches coach. Yes, and it's
Now I will say this. Sorry, I do think that this time he's backed up and giving Joe Shane the reins.
This
You
time,
have
yeah.
I haven't seen that.
This
in a long
you
time,
have
yeah.
no listen. You have no evidence to show that John Mayer has been butting in.
No, that's what I'm
Saquon
saying. I
Barkley.
think he's
I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying you saying. I'm just saying in general. Saquon Barkley's no longer here.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think
He's
he actually stepped back and gave the keys to Joe
yeah.
Shane because
He's
if it was
actually
up to him, Barkley would have got re-signed.
right. He's actually came out and supported them and said, if you want to get your quarterback, go ahead and get him. He didn't have no slick talk about DJ. He just said, look, I'm behind my GM. Even if they want to trade up and go get a quarterback, I'm 100% behind them. He said that. I don't think this dude has been doing anything. I think he's really been sitting back and letting them work. The only thing I can give you, what's going on, Giants clown, is I do think he had some input on DJ's contract. I do think he did have some input on that contract.
Yeah.
I think he said, listen, I want you guys to give him a fair contract. He took us to the playoffs. We did everything to screw this kid up. Let's give him some monetary security. Now, you make the contract however you want to make it to where you can get out the contract or whatever. I don't think he had any say in the build of the contract. I just think he has say of giving him the contract.
Yeah.
That's the way John Mayer is. I think he wanted to give that kid some money before anything else. At least give him that. At least do right by him at that. He did take us to the playoffs.
5 years of getting your head tore off because the line sucks. I think he deserved that money.
Right. And with him making the playoffs, that was John Mayer's, like, you know what? I did tell you guys that you got carte blanche, but the kid took us to the playoffs. Let's do right by him. Give him a contract. You make the contract the way you want to make it. But at least give him one more shot. And he got his one shot last year. He got hurt. I still believe they like the kid, to be honest with you.
I believe they like him, but I believe they're concerned about the neck injuries at this point.
Yes, they're very concerned.
Point, it will be stupid to not even think about bringing a backup or a replacement in at this point. I mean, it's just as much as I wanted him to get a fair shake and I wanted him to win, you know, we got to do something. Maybe not go get one in the first round, but if you can get a guy like Penix late in the first round, hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Penix is going late first anymore.
No.
He's probably going top 15 right now.
It just depends on what the Broncos, Broncos, Raiders, and Vikings. That's what's going to determine who slips to the second round.
And look, I'm gonna say this on on about the Giants drafting the quarterback. And this is where I agree with some fans. Look, you can't play no games with this shit. Because if you really, really, truly want a quarterback, just take the cat at 6. Because if you trade back and then you think you're gonna get Penix, and then for somehow something happens and some team trades over you with the Jets or something like that, then you're gonna feel stupid.
Quarterback, go get him.
Go get him.
I mean? So yeah.
No,
I think that kid Drake May falls to them at 6. And it's going to be between Drake May and maybe Romo Dunze, and I believe they get Drake May. Because if Drake May falls, that means Neighbors or somebody went higher than expected. And if Drake May falls, I think they do take that kid at 6. And I'm not saying it's a mistake. I don't think it will be a mistake if we have the offensive line to support the kid. But we're going to have an offensive line, and he's going to make mistakes. But can our defense back us up when he does make those mistakes? We can put him back on the field to try to get it corrected. You know what I'm saying? So build me a defense and build me an offensive line. And I could take a Drake May. Maybe take him 2 or 3 years, but once he gets it, it's on.
Here's my thing with that, right, Pat? A lot of these guys who are screaming, draft a quarterback, no matter what it takes. Cool. If that's what you think the Giants need, cool. But don't turn around in week 5 and week 6 and be like, oh man, this is bullshit. Because a first round draft quarterback is not gonna necessarily take you to the playoffs. More than likely not gonna take you to the playoffs his first season. So Don't get all excited if we get a Drake May, Caleb Williams, or something early in the first round, and then we still go like 6-11. I don't want to hear people going crazy batshit when we end up 6-11 because we got a rookie quarterback. Because that's usually what happens with a rookie quarterback.
It is really not even that, Lou. I expect it to be like a 60-11 season too. It's the people that if the offensive line don't block or we ain't got the weapons out there to support him, and he throws those 50-50 passes and it's the Slayton and he can't do it, I don't want to hear nothing from them. Because that's an excuse, right?
Trade Slayton. Should have took the receiver.
That's an excuse, right? It's his fault that the offensive line is getting beat up and he's getting knocked around. It's his fault that he doesn't have the 50-50 receiver. It's his fault the play caller can't be called right because the offensive line can't block. It's his fault if the defense gives up 30 points and we put up 25. It's his fault. That's what I want you to say. I want you to keep it consistent. Don't start talking like us when the shoe is on the other foot. Right. You know what I'm saying? That just keep it funky. Keep it a buck. That's all I want you to do.
Yeah. I could say this, that if the Giants draft Michael Penix Jr. and you put Evan Neal back out there, right tackle, when you got Jermaine Illuminor and you get that kid hurt, I'm going to be so upset. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I'm not going to lie.
I'm one of them people who you were just talking about. In regards to Evan Neal, I am so done with him at the right tackle position.
I am. You can't be though, bro.
Listen, I see where Pat and Coach coming from, though.
If you want to make him and Andrew Thomas interchangeable at left tackle, fine. He can be Andrew Thomas's backup. I know he's getting a lot of money because he was drafted high. We have to restructure that contract or trade him or slide him in at guard. I have no faith in him at right tackle. At left tackle, I have confidence in him. At right tackle, I have none, bro. None.
Maybe he's just one of those players that's better on the left side than he can play on the right.
That's what I believe.
But like Coach said, when you really think about it,
back to his natural position.
When you really think about it, what do you got, like a season and a half of work on him, a film on him?
You have like 23 games total. I know most of it is injuries, but for every mistake that he's making, he needs time to develop. And that's the thing. It's like we want to get rid of him or move him inside, and you ain't even seen the best of this kid as yet. I get it. I get the mistakes, and I get people being tired and frustrated. But this guy is an offensive tackle. He's built like an offensive tackle. He just needs time to develop. At Alabama, don't forget, he played 3 seasons at different positions, whether it's left tackle, right guard. He played 3 different positions. He did not play consistently one season after the other. He was always moved around. That tells me all I need to know about him. This kid, that maybe he needs to lose a little bit of weight. Okay, maybe that's a possibility.
Yeah, I think he's 330 something.
He was playing. They said 340, but he was really around 360. You could look at him and tell.
I don't think it's the weight. I think it's his footwork, bro.
I think the weight coming off of him will allow his footwork to be better.
Yeah.
If he could get around the 325, I think he would be a monster.
And I said this before we drafted him when we was looking at these guys for draft prospects. I said he drops back too far. He gives up too much ground. And then he leans forward to try to get his hands on the defender, and he's off balance, off gate.
Well, the blocking schemes we had under Bobby Johnson was more aggressive, where at times instead of, you know what, we needed to, when you needed him to kick back to see what's developing so he can adjust accordingly. But when you're doing an aggressive set right off the bat, it forces you to lean. It does. It forces you to lean forward as opposed to at times, you know what, let him kick back, let him widen the angle on the defensive ends. And if they move inside on him, his shoulders are squared and he can still adjust and move inside. And if there's a stunt coming, his shoulders are parallel to the line of scrimmage. He should be able to see it and pick it up. But when you got him turning his shoulders turning and facing the sideline off the bat and trying to force the end to ride the loop, you know, that's why he's going to get beat. He's leaning forward. He's falling forward on the ground. Tell me right now, has anybody ever seen any defender come and push him and force him to land on his back? Or is he always falling
Once.
forward?
Once.
And
Yeah,
that's
Nah,
seen
they
it
just
one
they just
time.
run around him.
Yeah, they
Pretty
just
much.
run around
run
because
around
he's
him, but
leaning forward. You don't have to
he's
push him
leaning
back.
forward.
Right.
Exactly. That's the point. So now if he's playing back, he's keeping his shoulders back, his head is up, he's
I
able to
don't think you
see.
bull rush him easily.
No,
I
and
don't
that's the
think you
point.
bull rush him easily at all.
Shout out to
Like
J-Lay. What's
NYG
good with
said,
you,
he's a
J-Lay?
monster in the run game. What's going on, J-Lay? He's a monster in the run game because he is a guy that can move bodies. I just think if he's in a patient scheme where he has patience because he has long fucking arms. Like I don't even know why you tripping, bro. You have long enough arms to recover if the defensive tackle gets underneath your arm. If you got quick hands, just go get right back underneath him, and your hands gonna be on his shoulders. What are you gonna do? Like say you're gonna be doing the thriller. Like, what are you gonna do? That's like me with somebody with short arms going against him. There's no fucking way. There's no way you should be able to do anything with Evan Neal if he's patient. What are you gonna do? That's all you're gonna do the whole time. You're gonna get hit right in your chest. Because as soon as that's exactly what you're gonna be doing. That little stupid dance they used to do back in the day. That's all you're gonna be doing. And try to fight, get underneath. You're gonna get right underneath you. So I don't understand it. I don't understand why the dude struggles, bro. To be honest with you.
Let's get neighbor a corner and take a look into Joe Milton, which a lot of people been talking up Joe Milton.
We draft Joe Milton, they gonna drag that man left and right.
Oh man, a lot of people have been talking up Joe Milton, man.
He does.
I'm not a fan of it.
Too.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Joe Milton. Although I will admit I haven't watched a lot of his films, so I'm gonna be honest with you. But what little I have seen, yeah, man, the kid ain't very accurate, bro.
At all. He's a project. Now that's somebody that you would literally have to have patience for.
Yeah, a lot.
And you would have to be in the lab for 2 years before you even try to put him on the field. To be honest with you, because he's gonna go out there, he's gonna make all type of mistakes. He is. But he has an arm out this world, so he can give you those flash plays that you want. Maybe that's what they need. Oh man, he threw 4 interceptions, but man, did you see that 85-yard bomb he threw to Slayton? We lost 55-7, but he threw for 120 yards and 90 of it came on one pass.
And here's the thing with the quarterbacks, though. A lot of people in this Giants fan base, we've been talking about patience and everything. This whole show, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to y'all up on the panel. If the only thing is, if we draft this quarterback at 6, I'm just afraid that it's going to be pressured to play the kid too early. And
there's no way he sits the bench, bro.
Particularly, I'm talking about Drake May and JJ McCarthy, because I think Michael Penix can come in as a rookie and give you serviceable quarterback play. Yeah. I think with Jaden Daniels, I think if you develop a system like what Lamar got over there, I think he can give you solid quarterback play as a rookie. That's why I got those guys 1-2, because I know this fan base, and I know if they take Drake May, the first incompletion Daniel Jones has in training camp.
Oh my God!
It's Drake May time. It's Drake May time.
Yeah. And training, it ain't even gonna make it to the preseason, bro.
He ain't gonna make it.
That man has one bad. Hey Joe, what's going on, Joe? If that man has one bad practice, put in the quarterback, put in Drake May, put in Michael Penix, put in Jaden. One bad
boy, especially a
practice.
A black QB, which they've been.
Oh my goodness, he can't start over that.
I just think it's going to be any quarterback, to be honest with you, because
it's going to be any quarterback. But if he is Michael Penix or Jaden Daniels, oh my goodness, you ain't gonna be able to start Daniel Jones no matter what. All these people talking about, you can draft Michael Penix and you can sit him for a year. You're an idiot. Because you're the main one that's going to force him to play.
Right. Right.
That man Daniel Jones goes to training camp and they say the defense had one good practice against the offense. Put in Michael Penix. He sucks. I'm telling you what's gonna happen.
You guys know that in our chat, in the Big Blue Crew chat on Twitter, me and Alex have gone back and forth a few times in disagreement as far as what we'd like to do in this draft. Alex is hell bent on getting a quarterback at 6 or trading up. And I'm hell bent on not trading up and getting a wide receiver and running with DJ for another year. So we decided that we're going to try to do a draft together at 3:30 with two opposing views and see if we can still fix this team.
Cool, man. Should name it the Odd Couple.
That's going to be quite eventful.
Yeah, name it the Odd Couple. But yeah, that's dope, man. Looking forward to that at 3:30. We're gonna wrap up here soon, man. Definitely, you know, we always want to support each other's content, man. So we're gonna check out Lou and Alex at 3:30, man. But yeah, I'm with you, man. Daniel Jones ain't making it out of training camp if they draft a quarterback, bro.
That nigga ain't making it out of OTAs. If he throws a bad pass to a running back and it hit his hands and he drops it, they gonna want
to be ready for OTAs. I think he'll be ready for preseason. I don't think he'll be ready for OTAs.
Nah, they say he should be ready by team activity.
He'll be ready, man.
People, especially about training camp. He'll be ready by training camp.
ACL so fast now, man. It's like ACL was like Tommy John in baseball. It's like, you know, at first it was one of those like devastating career injuries, but now
it's like a regular knee injury.
Regular,
Now the thing that's the terror is the Achilles. That's the terror. That's the Achilles injuries is what kills you. But those ACLs, people have ACLs all the time now.
Jacob,
come back.
Yeah, running backs be getting them and coming back. So.
Man, right.
Joe Milton reminds me of Cordell Stewart, Dante Culpepper.
I stand Cordell Stewart. I mean, he should have just.
Joe, the link is in the chat, bro. Twitter chat. Big Blue Crew. Is he selling up Big Blue Crew chat?
Of course.
No. Okay. Yeah, I always tweet out this show to you guys because it's Giants.
Big Blue Crew Entertainment. 1 hour ago is where it's posted at. Big Blue Crew Entertainment on Twitter. In the messages.
I don't see no scenario unless they draft somebody like. Hell, even if they drafted Spencer Rattler, they're gonna want him to play.
Jacob says, "You really think May or JJ can't play serviceable QB the first year?" I don't think so. Especially if you're taking them at 6, you're not going to be able to get the receiver you need that's going to be able to help them necessarily in that first round. And the thing is not that they don't have talent; it's the mental part of the game, processing, reading defenses at the NFL level, you know, anticipatory throws, you know, all the stuff you complain about with Daniel Jones.
Right.
These guys are coming in as rookies trying to learn this stuff. You know what I mean? So again, can they be good quarterbacks? Yeah. Do I think they're going to come in and be CJ Stroud year 1? No, they're not. I'm just be honest with you. That's not going to happen. These guys are going to make mistakes. They're going to throw interceptions. They're going to have fumbles. They'll give you some splash plays. But again, as impatient as this Giants fan base is, how quickly is it going to be before you turn on that quarterback and say the Giants made a mistake because he's struggling his rookie season? That's what I'm talking about. That's where it's at. Go ahead, Lou.
So all of you guys in the Big Blue Crew, I know I haven't been making videos and doing lives like I normally do. So I apologize to you guys. To the guys who view it, I know you guys been wanting to hear some of my takes on the draft and who I'd like to see drafted. But I've been finalizing my divorce and been going through a custody battle. My divorce is finally over. So thank God for that. I don't have to give up no more than I've already given up, which is every fucking thing. But I have my boys. So, you know, that battle was won. Thank God. So
what's up?
I have my boys, and
congrats.
So I'm blessed for that. You know what I'm saying? All the monetary shit, all that shit, I get it all back. I don't care about that. But I got my boys. I get to be an influence in their life. I get to be the father that I didn't have for them. You know what I'm saying? And I get to do what I wanted to do, give them what I didn't have. So, with that being said, thank you guys. I know you guys probably upset I haven't made no content, but I'm about to get back in the groove of things because I've got that off my shoulders now. So now I can focus on getting back to doing this content shit. So
Definitely, man.
guys for being
Appreciate
patient.
you. Appreciate you, bro. You already know what it is. We chop it up all the time, man, over the phone or whatever. You know, I support you like you support me. We both going through some things, so definitely, man. Big Blue Crew is back, man. Y'all hit that like button, man. Y'all subscribe to everybody on the show, man. We are back in full effect. Ain't playing no games. We're
And
gonna be
in
at the
less than a
draft.
month, we'll be front
Yeah,
row
bro.
center at the NFL draft. Nicole.
Let's
Let's
get
go.
it.
I will say this too. That kickoff return position is going to be
it's critical
important.
now. It's real.
That's like a
now.
formation, bro. Like you
Yeah.
can run plays out of that. It's like mano a mano out there on that new kickoff rule, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
And
yeah, that's
if
crazy.
if you got somebody that ain't doing their job on there, that team gonna be starting at least at the 50 every time. If you don't kick that ball off, all right.
Right.
Yeah, we need a kick returner, bro.
Yeah, well, they bought in
McKenzie, yeah.
and they still got Gunner, but
Like, yeah, you gonna have to be disciplined playing special teams, bro. That's a formation.
There's gonna be a lot of flags on this special team for the first part of this season.
Yeah, you're gonna have to call holding immediately if they hold, because if somebody holds and you don't call it, that's a touchdown.
Hey, Mosley, I'm with you. I want neighbors, and then whoever we can get, best player available after that. But if we can get neighbors at 6, oh man, I'm telling you, bro. I think DJ will have. If DJ plays,
Congrats, little bulldozer.
you got Malik Neighbors. Listen, man. If you got Malik Neighbors, Jalen Hyatt, Wandale Robinson is your primary 1, 2, and 3, and this line is even decent. If the line is even decent, there's no excuses for DJ after that. None.
Yeah, because somebody go get some separation.
It's going to be hard to cover Malik Neighbors, Jalen Hyatt, and Wandale Robinson as a defense.
Oh yeah.
And has Waller retired? Has he made a decision?
No, he hasn't made a decision
yeah,
yet. And you still got Slayton. I mean,
so assuming Waller's still here, it's going to be even harder to guard against Neighbors, Hyatt, Wandale Robinson, and Darren Waller. That's hard to cover.
with Slayton to back them up. So yeah. If they get time, that's all I want to see. If you give him time, I just want to see what's going on, because now we know what the major issue is. Now we can pinpoint what our major issues are.
That's a blessing you will love for life, bro. Sorry.
Yep. But yeah, if we can get Neighbors and the offensive line gives us time, and Neighbors is only got a 40 catch, 600-yard season, yeah.
Talk to me about Bo Nix, y'all. What's y'all's take on Bo Nix, man? I know Pat, you was a little bit high on him earlier in the draft process, man, but he seems to be one of the.
But he's a decent QB.
One of the guys, yeah, he seems to be one of the forgotten quarterback in this whole little process that we've been talking about. He could be an option. He could be an option.
I think he could be a better version of Derek Carr. I know that for a fact. Starting out,
he's a definite option in the second round.
I think if you put him on a team when the offensive line blocks, that kid can make just about any pass you want him to. I'm telling you, it's really about what you have around the kid. I'm just gonna be honest with you. As long as that quarterback isn't a complete jack off.
Yeah, it can't be Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, it can't be like a Nathan Peterman or somebody like that, or Jay Cutler who just didn't give a damn, or Jamarcus Russell who didn't give a damn about the game. He was just lazy. He got his check and he got his lean. But if you got a quarterback that has an arm to where he can throw that ball Anywhere you need him to throw it, and you put an offensive line in front of him and have decent weapons, I think any quarterback can be successful. You know what I'm saying? As long as now the thing about Bo Nix, he can
Think he
turn
makes it
into
to the
Hope.
second?
I want not for the Giants, no.
I
I
think
think
so
I
either.
don't, he might not even make it to the second, to be honest with you, because if the Broncos like him enough, they'll take him. You see what I'm saying? So it just depends on your system, because you have to have a system that goes with their skill set as well. You can't have Bo Nix out there running a Peyton Manning system when he's not a Peyton Manning type quarterback.
Yeah.
He's a guy that you get the ball out quick, let him hit the deep routes, and he will hit those post routes very good if you have that team guessing. Now, if you put him on, say the Broncos, they got the big guy out there, Cortland Sutton. They got two speed guys out there. They could go get another good guy in the second round. Hell, maybe you give him the dude from Oregon in the third or fourth round, because he's gonna drop. Maybe you put him out there with him just to give him some, some
Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin. Just to give him a receiver that he already has chemistry with. You know what I'm saying? I think he could turn out good over there with the Broncos, to be honest with you. I think he could do everything Russell Wilson was doing out there. And that's not a shot at Russell Wilson. I just think that kid's that type of athlete. He's kind of like that nigga.
Bokar. Oh man.
But yeah, he can put him on the Saints. He can do everything David Carr is doing right now.
Coach Dave says, I'll take Rattler third before I take Nix in the second. What's your thoughts on Rattler over Nix?
I think Rattler has one of the best arm talents in this draft.
I do like Rattler. I like his potential.
And as long as he's cleaned up that attitude and he's ready to work and he's ready to build with a team, you put a scheme around that kid, he'll surprise you.
Yeah, I think says Bo Nix going to Denver. Yeah, I think Rattler can be look, if you're going to take a developmental quarterback, why take him at 6 if you could take Rattler in the second or third round? If your plan is to sit the quarterback and develop the quarterback for a year or more, like I'm just saying, wouldn't it make more sense to build a better roster with picks 1 and 2 and then go get your quarterback and with pick 3 if that's the plan to develop the quarterback? If you like Drake May and he goes at 3 to the Patriots, and if you're the Giants and you're saying, look, we do want to upgrade our quarterback room. Let's be honest here. But the guy we didn't want at 6, the guy we wanted at 6 isn't available. We can still get a quarterback, but it's going to have to be a later round pick because we don't have necessarily the draft capital to make a trade up back into that first round to get Knicks or Penix or whatever if they fall. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? Coach. You got a thought?
I'm watching film on him right now.
Oh, Bo Nix?
Against Utah. I wanted to see him against a good defense. So, and I mean, he's all right. Don't get me wrong. There's some things that still need to be developed, especially the air raid concept, But I mean, fundamentals. I mean, he has decent arm talent. I still have issues with him just staring down his receivers. But I mean that's the system. Everything is quick out of his hands. So I mean, you'll have to see the film yourselves to really get your own.
Yeah, I watched Nick's film. Nick's was one of the first quarterbacks I actually studied. And
I told you what he got. He's actually pretty good. He just has those areas of his game where he turns into whole Knicks.
Yeah.
But he does dumb stuff. Like, don't do that. Keep within the game. And we're gonna win this game 20-17, sir. That's the way we gonna do it.
Oh man.
Who you talking about, Josh Allen?
No, Bo Nix. Oh, if you gave Josh Allen a great defense out there and he played within the game and didn't turn into Jackass Allen, I don't think too many teams in the league can beat him.
Doesn't have the
Coach Ed.
You swap
Man from Jersey.
6
He's a coach.
and 47 with the team.
Would you ask me, Lou?
Newark.
Would you want Lou?
Nah, my brother was asking who you is.
And give
Oh.
2/3. Oh God, damn, that's a swap 6 and 47 with a team at 5 and give 2/3 for Marvin Harrison Jr. No, I'm not doing that.
I'm not giving up that much for anybody.
Nah.
I don't care who the player is.
You coach basketball too, right? Coach? You coach basketball as well?
No, I never coached basketball. I just played. I'm terrible at basketball. I'm no good at basketball. So I know for a fact I can coach a basketball, man. I mean, I can teach the form, the techniques, whatever, but some of the plays.
What about this one, y'all? Trade back to 6. This is Tommy's been putting this one out to the Vikings for Jefferson.
Vikings are not giving up Jefferson.
First of all, to get Jefferson, you're gonna have to give up the number 6, the number 47, your 2025 first, your 2025 second, and probably something else too, just for Jefferson.
Yeah.
And then you gotta turn around and give Jefferson $34 million a year.
Yeah. See, I'm fair. I've been consistent when it comes to trading up. I do not want to give picks up for a trade. You know what I'm saying? I said it with the quarterback and with the receiver.
PlayStation info so I can work on them on 2K.
You said you got a PlayStation 5?
I can get it. He got a PS4 and the Xbox what?
Oh, I got PS4 too. Try. You was not ready for me on 2K, bro. Like, stop it.
He said, "Send me the information."
Man, he said that like we was in the game. Send me information, man. Let me contact your people.
On the basketball court, that little motherfucker right there is the problem.
We still got to get our game on the court.
Skip to my Lou type shit like that.
He not doing that, bro. He not doing that. Ray Froston was different, bro. Yeah. He's not doing that.
Yeah, I can call Skip Brown right now.
Coach Skip Brown?
Got him on contact right now. That's a fact.
Okay. We'll see.
Like, no, for real. The boy nice on the basketball court. I give him that.
I think y'all be playing them jailhouse rules, throwing elbows and everything. I'm still with it. Chance.
Jailhouse rules, throwing elbows and shit.
I get my weight up. You'll get me the first time, but you ain't gonna keep knocking me the hell out. I promise you that.
Y'all crazy, man.
Yeah, man. We gotta do that, man.
I definitely gotta get on the court with y'all boys, man.
We need to have like a little basketball game.
New York game this season. So if we get up in Charlotte, we can run a
3-on-3 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, half court 3-on-3. I ain't running full.
Hey, what's that y'all eating? Like what was that? That would look good.
With 3 players. No, if we
was that a steak?
We play with 5.
That food in the background.
Yeah,
Chinese food. He eat Wuhan.
I thought that was a steak.
Man.
Yeah, I ain't messing with the Wuhan.
Yeah, I can't fuck with that. Yeah,
but I can actually see Tribe having game on the court. Funny as hell.
Nah, he looked like he could play. You know what I'm saying? Short, center of gravity. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he probably got good handles. Probably played point guard.
When we grew up in the street, he was running back and a basketball player. Like for real.
He played point guard. He played like a point guard, little point guard.
Point guard and shooting guard.
Yeah, I played shooting guard.
You heard me?
Yeah.
I play basketball, but I can't touch him on the court. I'm gonna be honest. I can play ball. I can't touch him on the court.
I play all 5 positions, right? I'm 5'7", but I know how to use my weight. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, if you know how to use your weight on the court, as long as they're not 7 foot, you should be able to do something.
I'm a point that can play every position.
Your ass can't play center. You way too short to play center.
Yeah, you ain't playing center, son.
If you're able to hand check, you
yeah. If you playing street ball with the old school rules, you might can hold your own. But yeah,
I get off my feet before you will. I'm quick to the jump, and I know how to use my weight to get you up. Basically get you out.
But see, Tribe. I'm gonna tell you this, Tribe. I think you too little, man. I'm gonna just back you down, bro. I'm gonna just back you down, man. If you that cold with the handles, don't let me get the ball. I'm just gonna tell you honestly what I'm gonna do.
7 points, Pat.
You'll spot me 7 points?
Oh wow.
You will spot me 7 points. Oh, now you're getting disrespectful. See, I wasn't disrespectful. I was giving you your props, but you gonna spot me 7?
7.
I ain't even let you get the ball first. If you miss, it's over. I promise you it
is.
Oh shit!
That man said he gonna spot me 7 points. Okay.
7 points.
I'm gonna make it come out the guard.
Now that means you gotta come to the Carolina game. All right. I know. No, it's gonna be in Charlotte.
Put the inside foot on the toe.
I can't wait for that. You gonna spot me 7 points?
Well, you gave me inside.
Yeah, Pat on this bully shit. Yeah,
And don't think I won't pull. Don't think I won't pull from the 3-point line. Sit there if you want to.
Tommy's Boricua from Texas. He said he gonna give you 7, and he's shooting running laps around you, Pat.
You might be able to run laps around me. But I'll be honest, now since you say you're gonna give me 7 points, I might hit the gym for a couple of months before I come out there. Just so I can be able to run and have my breath for those 4 points.
Like a boxing. Every point.
Yo, man,
I'll be honest with you. You might get me a boxing right now too, because I don't have my breath.
Hold up. Yesterday I did not feel good, and I was supposed to call that Pitbull Cruz and Romero fight. Pitbull Cruz ate that.
Beat the brakes off Romero.
Who actually seen that fight?
The Romero Pitbull Cruz.
Yeah.
I seen part of it. Pitbull Cruz is a monster, bro.
Listen. Prior to that dude even coming out, if you go back and watch that, he was scared, bro.
Romero was scared.
Yeah.
That dude was scared, bro. He didn't even want to fight.
He didn't want no part. You know, Pitbull.
He stepped in the ring. That's why Pitbull shook him in the first round. He was scared. Go back and look at when he was coming in the entrance, bro. Look at that kid in the eyes, bro. He was scared, bro. I swear.
Pitbull's great turning into the boogeyman of that division. Nobody's gonna want to fight him.
I honestly believe that if Tank studies for that fight, that'll be a great fight, bro. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go back and look at that fight, I watched that fight again last night. You go back and look at that fight. Tank showed flashes that if he would have landed some of that shit, he would have hurt Cruz, bro. I promise you.
Yeah.
He would have hurt Cruz, bro. So I'm telling you, if that motherfucker goes back and studies and gets back in the work and gives us a great fight, bro, that shit could go either way. I'm telling you.
The reason he beat Pitbull Cruz was because he kept turning him.
Yep.
When you're judging,
he beat him because he realized that this motherfucker was coming at him with no mercy,
and he kept turning him.
Running, bro.
But he turned him. That's when judges look at how you turn. If you can turn the fight and you end up on his open side.
Listen to what I'm telling you. Go back and look at that fight too, and look at that kid's eyes.
It came out of self-preservation. Them body shots was hurting.
It was coming out of fucking basically survival.
Yeah, that's what Pitbull Cruz puts you in.
Had he landed some of them motherfucking combinations, the combinations that he threw, he would have hurt Cruz, bro.
Yeah, he would have.
They would have got off.
And they fight, bro. I promise.
If they fight toe to toe like Hearns and Hagler, that'll be a war.
It's not toe to toe. Cruz got a style that's so
he
crazy.
comes underneath.
No, he's just accurate, bro. He puts his head down. Why?
Yeah.
He puts his head down and he's accurate, bro. He's not even looking at his fucking target, but that shit is landing, bro. It's like he's studying like that. I promise you. Look, I watched him fight 2 times.
Pitbull Cruz is the fighter that puts you in.
He's accurate, bro. He knows exactly what his target
He puts you in survival mode, and if you ain't got that boxing acumen, you're gonna be afraid of him.
That old Tyson block.
Yeah, like
Pitbull
Cruz is coming straight.
He uses the peekaboo style.
Y'all remember Maidana? Y'all remember Maidana?
Yeah.
He fights like a controlled Maidana, because Maidana did the same thing. He put you in survival mode. Maidana was wild, but Pitbull Cruz, like, it's literally he's not looking, but he's going to spots. It's weird, bro. Yeah, Cruz forces you to fight him, just like he chosen said.
Yeah, bro. He coming for it. He coming for the hand. That motherfucker coming.
That's what Mike used to do. Mike used to come across that room and bring the fight to you. That bell ring, he's across that motherfucker with no socks coming.
But I'm gonna just let y'all know, if that man give me 7 points, I'm going to the gym to make sure I can last that half of the game, and I'm gonna win.
Then you better stop smoking. If he gonna get in the gym, you better stop smoking.
But that's the only thing he got on me, Lou. I don't have my breath the way I used to have my breath. I could give you 1 or 2 good full court 5-on-5s, and that's it. It's over with.
You said full court what?
He said full court.
No full court, sir. I ain't ran a full court game in about 18 years, nigga. Ain't no way. I smoke way too much. You might get 2 full courts out of me.
I had to put that nigga Lou through suicide drills to get your stamina up,
Alexa,
son.
stop.
I'm 45.
Alexa, stop.
1,000. Nigga, I'm gonna run twice and be like, sir.
But ain't no way you giving me 7 points. I ain't gonna win. I'm sorry.
Oh man. Y'all crazy, man. But yo, this has been great, man. We're gonna shut it down. I know G Nation getting ready for his him and Alice getting ready for their draft. So we definitely gonna head over there, man. But y'all sub up
playing basketball with my son.
Y'all sub up to all these content creators on the panel. Of course, we got G Nation Inside Sports. If you haven't checked out, man, you got to get back on Leather to the Face, man. Yeah, it's a part of my Saturday routine. When I get off work, I Leather to the Face is on. I can listen to that while I you know what I'm saying, get ready or whatever, wind down for the evening. Need that back, man. Need that back in my life. Coach Ed, I need smash
Keys,
talk,
what's going on?
trash talk back in my life, bro. Yeah. I need that, bro. Like, yeah. Man.
I know.
Let's get it back, man. Big pack.
We back. I'm focused now.
I got that what are you doing back in my life, bro? I need that, bro.
Oh man, I think I could do it better this year. I actually think I could do it better this year because I found out how to get those clips better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and your video is looking crazy right now. I'm like, yo, I need to get on my shit. I'm looking prehistoric over here.
But yeah, I've gotten better at getting highlights and stuff, and I already know those videos I won't be able to monetize anyway, so it's gonna be all good with those videos. It's just those are gonna be like super entertaining.
Yeah,
when I get the chance to start those back. This season coming up though, there's gonna be so much content coming out, man. This season for sure. So y'all be on the lookout for it.
If we do get Marvin Harrison Jr., it's a wrap, son. I'm telling you, I would not be mad at that at all.
Definitely wouldn't be mad at that.
No, how can you be? No.
Just make sure there's O-line blocks, and we will get off.
Yep. Pause. Yep.
But yeah, man. But shout out to everybody that tuned in the chat, man. It's too many of y'all for me to name everybody, man. Y'all was lighting this chat up today, man. But
Mosley, Lucas,
know who you is, man.
Tommy Bookends, Capitan Rafael, Tommy, Lucas, Little Bulldozer. Congratulations again, Nimmer, E-Man Perry, Ghost Dog Blue, Ballfoot Lifestyle, Tony Giants fan.
Man,
we're gonna be here forever, bro. Yeah,
right. Nimmer, Ema, Ghost Dog, Mosley, Man Cave, Jaylen, Lucas, Jacob, Coach Dave.
Shout out to the whole Big Blue Crew fan base family, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all the reason we do this, man.
40 Luck came back in today. What's going on, 40 Luck,
bro, man?
Isaiah Wyatt came back in today. Like it's so many of y'all, bro.
Bunch of y'all, man. Check out the little junior right there. I see you.
Man, he's trying to get my fro like his. That shit terrible.
Yeah, you got that says the girls love my curls. Make a move.
Man, you getting big too, bro.
Yeah,
he's only 2.
Right. Man, can you remember he was a newborn when we started this?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. All
That's
right. You
crazy.
hug up the mic.
But man, shout out to everybody, man.
Hey, shout out to Joe, man. The link was in the chat. I hope you did.
Yo, yeah, man. Anytime,
Well, that's all right,
bro.
Me and Alex going live here in a minute for the mock draft, so tap in. I'll put the link in the chat for everybody. Y'all more than welcome. Y'all know it.
Yeah, man, no doubt, man. But appreciate y'all, man. You know what it is, man. We're gonna get up out of here, man. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.
When you hit ons, know it's game time. And you know me and my bros on the same time. No breaks, green light. No breaks, I got the green light. When you hit ons, know it's game time. And you know me and my bros on the same time. No breaks, green light. No breaks, I got the green. We gon' tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, yeah. We ain't going out, we ain't going into town, no. Money ain't the mission, no, we coming for the crown, yeah. Yeah, we coming for the crown. If we going out, then we going out loud, eh. Putting on the show, young man, take a bow, eh. Even under pressure, they ain't never had doubt. But if we gon' do it, gotta do it right now.